Hello everybody, welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube and Twitch channels. I hope you're all having a wonderful Wednesday. That's what day it is, Wednesday. I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday and that you are ready to sit here with me and look at frauds. We've got two frauds that we're going to look at, plus we've got a very silly professional Mortal Kombat player that I actually have watched before, and I kind of like Wasminator, but this kind of makes me sad. So we're gonna watch that too. So I hope you're all having a really good day. Hello, Ghost Dog. Welcome to the stream.
Hi everybody at blindpress here at VA Dan, having a go because he hasn't had one in 10 years. Button. Adding Ghost Dog 999. Hi everybody at blindpress here at VA Dan, having a go because he hasn't had one in 10 years. Learn open reaction.
Nice.
Or learn Ghost Addy modes.
Well, welcome, Ghost Dog. I'm glad you're here. I'm sorry about your recent passing of your mom. I am very sorry to hear about that. I meant to reach out to you on Twitter when you posted and I didn't, and I apologize. That was not cool of me. So what shall we start with? You know what? Let's start with the fun stuff first. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start with the fun things first, and then we're gonna get into the darker shit later. So let's go to the blindfold brutality challenge in MK1. Now, this I'm going to record for a segment. So this is going to be in the live stream, but I'm also recording this now for a segment that I will upload separately. This video is by Wasminator, or as he goes on YouTube, Was. He is from Australia. He is, I don't know if he's been on the pro tour circuit yet, but I do know that he has offered training and stuff in the past to other people in the community. I know that he's one of those content creators that has a side business of providing training. So he's a good player. And he has decided to do this blindfolded brutality challenge with Kenshi. 'Cause, that's super on the nose, but okay. I don't know if Was mains Kenshi at all. So he is going online. He's gonna describe this challenge to us in a minute, but it feels so like now that accessibility in gaming is getting to be a thing. These challenges, while they're amusing to me, they're also a little bit like, really guys? Like, blind gamers have been in fighting games forever because of the sound cues. I don't know what to tell you. This isn't special. So here we go. Tell us your challenge.
The challenge for today's video is to win an online match with Kenshi, literally blindfolded. I'm probably going to regret this, but I'm going to try and wear this blindfold right here and win an online match with Kenshi. I probably look like such a goofy right now.
You probably look like such a goofy? I don't think that's... Okay, sure. I think he meant to say such a goof and then realized he couldn't say that. So he just said, I look like such a goofy. Anyway, that's nitpicking. Let's move on. So he's going to try to play Kenshi online. He does not say whether Kenshi is his main.
I think it's a good idea first to go into practice mode really quick and try a few combos blindfolded. I have played a lot
of that's cheating!
Kenshi in the past, so let's see if we can do some combos and win an online match with Kenshi. I probably look like such a goofy right now. I think it's a good idea first to go into practice mode really quick and try a few combos blindfolded. I have played a lot of Kenshi in the past, so let's see if we can do some combos.
So he does know Kenshi. He has played Kenshi. He does know Kenshi's combos. Is he gonna turn on the accessibility settings? Does he know about the accessibility settings? No, he does not. I do not hear clicks.
Ah, okay. Honestly, not bad for the first try.
Yeah, but your character is fighting somebody that's standing still. And
Hey! Wait, I got it right.
let's go back.
I know. I think
Let's
it's a good
let
idea
him-
first
let's
to go
let
into
him
practice
play
mode
that
really
whole
quick and try a few
combo
combos blindfolded. I have played a lot of Kenshi
But-
in the past, so let's see if we can do some combos.
I want to say that he doesn't have the accessibility, and he's in practice mode, so his dummy is literally
Okay.
just standing
Honestly,
there.
not bad for the first try.
Okay, so he's got Sub-Zero as his cameo.
Hey!
Okay, he's
Wait, I
got a
it
good
right.
combo there.
Yes, let's go. Okay, now that I've landed these combos blindfolded, I'm ready to try this.
Now
in
that
an
I've
online
landed
match.
2
I already know
combos
I'm gonna regret
blindfolded.
this. Baraka.
Oh, you're fucked. Oh, you're fucked.
Blindfold's going back on, boys. Let's see if we can do it. Come on.
You're fucked, dude. See? He's in the match right now, and because he doesn't have the accessibility shit. Well, I'm glad you're back, and I'm glad she's at rest.
Oh my god.
Wow!
Let's try this in an online match. I already know I'm gonna regret this. Baraka.
So-
Blindfold's going back on, boys. Let's see if we can do it. Come on.
He doesn't know where Baraka is.
Oh my.
Oh, he got flawless. Oh my god.
He looks like a moron. Button.
He looks like a moron. He's kind of sounding like... I'm trying to be, like, funny about this, but this is bad. Like, you're a pro player. You, like, come on, man. Sonic Fox could still win a match blindfolded.
Oh my god. This is actually so annoying.
Oh, yeah, it's so annoying.
Oh my god. This is actually so annoying.
Dude,
Oh my god. I can't even see, and I know he's just throwing projectiles the whole game.
so then do something about it.
Ah!
We're not even seeing the whole match. We're at 1 minute 24 seconds. He's not even letting us see a full match. He's not even letting us see if he's getting any hits. Like, this is bad, dude. Come on, Waz.
This might be the most annoying challenge in the entire game. I have to legit turn into Kenshi to win like this, bro. I have to literally be Kenshi.
Dude. Fuck off. Waz. Just... I'm trying. I'm trying not to get punchy. I made a deal with myself. Fucking Piccolo even said, don't get punchy. And you're testing me, Waz. You're testing me right now. Come on, dude. Oh, he got one. He's doing something. Look at you go. You did something. Oh. He's doing something. There you go. He's not confident,
oh my
though.
god. What a comeback, bro. That was crazy.
He's not confident, though. You can tell even when he's landing shit, he's like, am I landing shit? And do I know? Like, he's not for sure.
Addy modes. Parity bear. Yeah, that's lame. Button. Ghost dog 999. Ghost dog 999. Hell, you look great when you don't fight back.
Hell, you look great when you don't fight back,
Button.
right? Exactly.
He looks like a moron. Parity bear. Yeah, that's lame. Button.
That's lame. Yeah, Parody Bear. See, he's hesitating. Like, he's landing shit, but he's hesitating because he's not sure.
No.
You're fucked. Oh. He blocked it.
Brutality.
Ha! Oh, he got it.
Oh my god. I just did that blindfolded. Are you kidding me? Kenshi challenge completed, boys. Let's go. I didn't expect to do that so quickly with Kenshi, so I'm going to try with a few other characters. I'm going to quickly jump into practice mode with Liu Kang and try some blindfolded combos.
Oh, so now he thinks he's styling. Now he thinks he's styling. Yes, okay.
Yep, there we go. Easy. That was literally second try.
What was that? Was that a me sound or was that a him sound?
Yep, there we go.
Oh, that was a him sound.
Easy.
Okay.
That was literally second try.
Yes,
Yes, there we go. Okay.
It's super easy to get those combos when the dummy doesn't move,
Those are the only combos I'll need with Liu Kang, so let's see if we can win a match.
Those are the only combos you'll need with Liu Kang. Oh, okay.
Nice blocks. Oh, this guy's bodying me.
Good! You're fucking cocky as shit, having gotten one match. Oh,
nice.
Man. He got one match. He got one match and one brutality with Kenshi, and instead of, like, continuing on with Kenshi to see if he could go and get all of Kenshi's brutalities, no, now he's moving on to other characters, because he's being too cocky. And, like, there's no...
I can't see, bro!
There's no mention of the...
I'm dead, right?
Sound design.
Am I just dead? I'm dead.
You're very dead.
At least brutality me. Okay, he didn't brutality. Oh, my Liu Kang just got cooked, bro. I don't know. I thought this was gonna be way easier. I think
you thought this was gonna be way easy. Why? Because you think blind people just fucking button mashing, duh. Is that what you think blind people do? Holy fuck, you thought this would be way easier?
Scorpion and teleporting back and forth, it's actually really confusing.
No, it's not. Block. Block fucking high. Everything Scorpion has in this game is a high. Just block high. Jesus Christ, dude. Okay, you got a combo. Oh, now he's firing projectiles over and over again. Oh yeah. I'm cheering for Waz's enemies now. Oh, you got a combo going. Oh, you stood. How would you? That is such a rookie mistake. That is something I would do. Holy fuck, dude.
Oh my god, bro. That was a really good round. This might be the one. Was that random? Did it work? Oh, he blocked it.
It's very random.
I'm dead.
You're very dead.
Dead.
Very brutal.
Nice. I was so close on that one, but I'm gonna go to the next opponent.
Oh, he's fading a Li Mei, I think.
Ooh. Did I just whiff punish him blindfolded? Oh, I dropped it. That's so annoying.
You accidentally whiff punished him blind. I'm gonna say, I'm sorry. You may be the pro player here. That was totally an accident.
Did I just whiff punish him blindfolded?
That was totally a fucking accident.
Armor?
You are guessing.
Come on, bro. I'm locked in.
Oh my god, it's the battle of the projectiles. Oh.
No. Did I win? Yes, let's go.
Did I win? See, if you had the accessibility turned on, you would hear your character being announced.
We will clip this segment and send it to him to react to your reaction. Button. Add emotes. Button. Ping hello the driving ape moderator. We will clip this this segment and send it to him to react to your reaction.
Oh, that's good, because I'm recording this segment right now already. It's going to be a separate video.
Let's go. Oh my god, wait. Oh my god, let's go. Bro. Go.
Why are you not... You're barely using your cameo too, dude. Why?
Oh no.
Waz, come on, dude. There you go.
Oh god.
Use your... Dude, use your cameo and listen for it and then run across the screen after it. Holy shit.
Fatal, please die. Please die. Yes! Let's go. Oh, we did it with Liu Kang as well. No way, bro.
Oh my god, This is... You're supposed to plan for the brutals. They're not supposed to happen by accident.
Chat messages added.
You didn't even know if that would kill.
Can Callow the drive? We will clip the
You didn't even know if that was gonna kill him. You're like, please die, and then you get the brutal. You're like, yay, way to go, me! Like, dude, you are so lucky. You're just guessing. Because you don't know to turn on the accessibility settings. It wouldn't have been cheating. It would have been a great showcase for... You have like 200,000 subs. Do you know what a good showcase that would have been for the accessibility settings? Like, holy shit, Waz, come on.
I can't believe, like, the power of sound in fighting games is so insane. Anytime I did a combo, I'm literally just confirming from the sound. It's so crazy. Challenge completed with Liu Kang. Let's go to another.
Yes, it is. It's been happening since the advent of fighting games. We used to just sit in front of the television and have the sound up, and we would sit right in front of both speakers, and we would just have to listen super hard for where we were and where our opponents were. And some fighting games didn't have that sound design. Like Bushido Blade, I think, was the first game where you could hear yourself getting further away and closer to your opponent. All the other games before that, it was just one channel. So like, this is not new. And with all the accessibility settings, like, the shit turns on when the game loads. Like, how did you not hear that shit? You had to turn it all off. It defaults to on. Like, come on, Waz.
The next character
I'm
gonna
trying to be nice.
Smoke. I feel like he's really good at this challenge. He does so much damage, and his buttons are really easy to confirm. So
Wait.
Smoke. I feel like he's really good at
Oh.
this challenge. He does so
Smoke.
much damage, and his buttons are really easy to confirm. So also, I'll be using Sector Cameo, by the way.
His buttons are really easy to confirm. You're like the only person I've heard say that. Everybody else I hear is like, you have to be super crisp on your cancels or else you're fucked. And as somebody who plays a bit of Smoke, that's true. You have to be on point with your confirms. It's all the down backs that he has, it's not super easy. Especially if you are just coming into being blindfolded. So let's see.
Okay.
Okay, he got the down back too.
I'm dead. Am I dead?
You're very dead.
God. This is way harder than Liu Kang.
Yes, because Smoke is a more advanced execution character than Liu Kang. Liu Kang's like 1, 2, 2, forward 3, 2, forward 4, back forward 4, down back 1, back forward 1. There you go. There's your Liu shit. there's your shit right there. Fuck. Oh, maybe a 2-2 in there every once in a while. But Smoke, you've got your down back 2, your down back 4, your down back 2 or 4 into forward 1, 2, 1 plus 3. You've got your forward 4 into back 3, 3, 2. Then you put that into 4. Then you put that into 1, 1, 1, 4. Like, it's not easy, dude. You should have picked Lao, too, by the way.
I dropped it.
Oh, man.
Please. Did it hit? Wait, did I win the round? Is he dead? I think he's dead, right? Yes, he's dead. Let's go. Okay. Alright, wait, we might get it right now. Hold on. Didn't break armor, really?
Oh, he's facing a Lao.
Oh, that's bad. That is actually terrible.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I don't have breaker either.
See, if you had the accessibility settings on, you would know that.
Oh my god, where is he?
And it wouldn't be cheating, by the way. Again, it wouldn't be cheating.
Oh no.
See, you got too cocky. You should have tried to get
Oh my
all
God,
of
I'm cooking.
Kenchi's brutals.
Yeah, I'm cooking.
You're cooking.
Where
You
are
got
you?
one combo.
Where am I? Oh, it's
You
actually
got
bad.
one combo, and you're cooking.
I'm so dead, bro. No way. Drops.
No way.
Try again. Oh my god.
You're because you're not listening. You're being too cocky. This is the problem. And like, yeah, you did mention that sound design is good and it is great in this game, but you really should have stuck with just doing all of Kenchi's brutals. That would have been a cool challenge. You got too cocky and you're dropping shit that you really shouldn't be dropping, like even as a not pro player, because you got too cocky.
Did I win? Please.
Nope.
Oh my god, did I win? Yes! Look at my health
But you didn't
bar.
get the brutal.
Oh my god.
What do you mean, look at your health? Did you take the blindfold off?
Remember, most people think you're just button adding
Did you take off the blindfold, sir?
confused by the accessibility settings. Download the driving aid moderator. He might get more confused.
He might get more confused by the accessibility settings.
This segment and send
You know what? Maybe.
driving aid moderator.
Remember, most people just think you're button mashing. That's true.
Message adding modes.
That's true. The amount of people that are on TikTok that watch me play, they're like, button mashing, legit.
I knew my health was low, but I didn't know it was that low. Holy shit.
Another Kalime.
Oh my god, full screen.
Yep. Yeah, that back forward 4 is brutal.
That's such a bad whiff.
See, and he's starting to recognize it now, which is at least good. He's starting to recognize that he should be doing this better.
Back throw?
Yep.
Come on, bro.
Ooh. You picked Shang Tsung?
Come on, just die.
Really? He's like, you're just gonna throw skulls at her?
Jordan Mahoney, the blind world. In my opinion,
You're just gonna throw skulls at her?
Yeah, I just zoned him out crazy. Yo, look at my life lead. Hold on. I'm actually cooking right now.
Because you're... Why do blindfolds turn sighted people into retards? You literally just spammed skulls. And you're like, I'm cooking! No, you're not. You're not moving. You don't have to see to do that shit. Come on, Waz. You know what? I challenge you, Wazminator, and I am sending you this video. I challenge you, sir, to a blindfolded match. You pick whatever character and cameo pair you want. I pick my main. And we'll see who wins. In fact, I'll even take my prosthetics out of my head just to make it extra obvious that I'm completely blind, okay? And we'll see who can win. And one of us, the winner, has to brutality. That's the challenge. Do you accept?
No, the knees.
Yeah, you throw those lanterns, Lee
I'm
May.
dead, right? Forward grab.
Yeah, you throw them, Lee May. Oh no, that was a Shang
Hold on.
Tsung grab.
No, that would have been big. I think I'm dead now. I'm
Yes,
dead.
you are.
Dude, if I got that hit, that would have been so big. This is bad.
That guy is pissed. That Lee May player is not happy right now. You can tell.
Come on.
Oh, good,
on,
you're
bro.
comboing. You're actually doing things. Good.
Come on.
Oh,
No.
good poke. Good poke
Oh,
on
God.
that Lee May's poke. Oh,
I
another
don't know where I
good
am on
poke.
screen. Please.
Block it, Lee
Am I
May.
dead?
Yes, you are. You
No.
are very dead.
No. No, no, no. Put the health
You
bar
are
on
also
screen, bro. I
being
don't even wanna
fatality
talk
to-
about
or
it.
no, you're
That
not.
literally is breaking my heart right now, bro. 1 pixel away.
Oh, now Katana. And she's throwing all the fans at you. Oh, now you're throwing all the skulls at her. This is a fucking zoning match if I ever saw one.
Nice grab. That's forward grab.
Oh, they have Sub-Zero too. They both have Sub-Zero cameo.
Oh god.
That Katana's like, fuck you and your skulls. Eat all my fans.
No. Wait. Dead?
Oh
Not dead,
my
not dead,
god.
Not dead. Okay, okay. Not dead, not dead. Blindfold back on, blindfold back on.
Blindfold back on? Why are you checking that? No, 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 sir. You shouldn't be checking your life lead. We don't get to... We have the thing that goes ding. Yes, we have the machine that goes bing that tells us if we're still alive. Literally, we actually do have a life thingy that goes bing.
Yes! Let's go, boys. And I'm stealing
Still
your
no
fatality.
brutal,
Hold on.
though.
Stolen fatality from the blindfolded win. Oh, let's go, boys. Sorry if that one was a bit lame. It was a little bit of a zone fest. Should I even apologize, bro? I'm literally playing blindfolded. Like, how can I play good? I feel like it's totally valid to end the challenge there. We completed it with 4 characters. If you enjoyed watching me suffer...
I'm sorry, run that again by me, Waz? Run that again by me?
Bit of a zone fest. Should I even apologize, bro? I'm literally playing blindfolded. Like, how can I play good?
Okay, you know what? My resolve to not be punchy, gone. Fuck you. Fuck you. There are pro fucking blind players. How can you even be good? You know what? Not that it matters, because you have a whole bunch of Twitch followers, but I'm fucking unfollowing you now. That was bullshit, dude. That was the really, dude. How can I even be, why am I even apologizing right now? How can I even be good? I'm playing blindfolded. Dude, I hope to fuck you accept my challenge. I really do. I really, really do. Because you know what? There's a blind fighting game community. There are blind tournaments. There are blind players entering tournaments against all sighted players.
Check message input.
Just,
Double tap to
that was pathetic. To end it like that, you just lost any goodwill and respect that I was gonna have for you in this video. I hope this doesn't get lost in your DMs and shit, because I am sending this to you. This is... Wow, Waz. Just wow. Like, share, subscribe. See you in the next one. Alright, that's been recorded. That'll be uploaded later today, so if anybody wants to watch it.
I said she should ask. Cannibalistic wizard, will you be blindfolded also? XP.
Will I be blindfolded also?
In my opinion, blindpress, you're an expert in the country's games of how to kill people. The drug and game moderator. Remember most of it.
Let's see.
What he said in my opinion is uncalled for. I take that as an insult.
What he said in my opinion is uncalled for. I take that as an insult. Yeah, you know what? I was trying to be lighthearted and like laugh and not be angry and negative until he fucking said that shit. And I'm like, you know what, asshole? All fucking bets are off now. You are fucking that's not called for. That's not called for at all. Ugh. That was not at all necessary. How can why am I even apologizing? I'm just playing blindfold. How can I be good? Wow. Wow. You know what? I can't even, my brain just broke. My brain just broke. I literally, my brain just kind of short-circuited there. Ugh. Right. Let's find out about how Sniper Wolf stole her life. I watched this video off stream yesterday. It's a good one. I wanted to share it with you guys.
SS Sniper Wolf and Azzyland hate to be compared. But of course that won't stop their viewers, or even YouTube itself, from lumping them together every day of their lives. Whether stuffing Sniper Wolf videos into Azzy's trending topic, or just playing their videos back to back and causing widespread confusion.
Oh, that sucks. That could you imagine, like, not getting along with somebody and then calm down, just tweet him and try to correct his thinking. I will calm down. Okay, let's see here. Where am I going? So, yeah, could you imagine being put in the recommended feed of somebody that you hate?
For most of their careers, people have told them they look like sisters. They're not. And now, even friendship seems out of the question.
Always be yourself, unless you suck. Then pretend to be somebody else. And that's on Azzyland.
Both are accused of lying and stealing and trying to be the other one.
Oh my god. This is so high school. This is so high school.
Very interesting. I wonder who's telling the truth.
One woman is someone who nobody else seems to have anything bad to say about. And the other one,
everyone hates.
Both women are enormously successful influencers whose channels and brands and fan bases were set up to fight to the death.
Oh, of course. Of course they would be. Of course they would be. This is I feel like I'm watching some stupid 10th grade bullshit right
You're
now.
not special for winning a game with someone who you know was never playing. She could have killed you. She had every right. You just caught her off guard tonight.
What the fuck?
Come and join us on this episode of Nerdline as we talk to Azra and hear one side of this story for the very first time.
Oh, interesting.
I never really talk about this because I feel like there's something wrong with me, where to some degree I lack empathy. There are a lot of things I don't care about, things I probably should care about that I don't. Kind of like if you didn't wake up tomorrow, I also wouldn't care. I would just move on with my day. When
God damn, dude. Why are you such a sociopath? Holy fuck.
something's useless, you throw it away. You know who else has no empathy? Psychopaths. I truly think that this is psychopath behavior.
Some similarities
It
between
is.
Azra and Leah just can't be helped, but others were manufactured intentionally.
More plants that I'm killing.
A luscious, well taken care of plant.
Hey man, can I copy your homework? Yeah, but change it up a little so the teacher don't notice.
This is a mirror.
And this is my favorite mirror. Finally.
Why do they both sound exactly the same? Holy shit. They literally sound exactly the same. I cannot tell who is who when it cuts between the only way I can tell that it might be Sniper Wolf is the echo.
It doesn't really go with that.
I like mirrors.
There may never be a better example of be careful what you wish for.
Cut a piece of your hair. No clickbait or fake. Okay, guys, let me just grab the scissors. Here goes nothing. Okay, guys. Here goes nothing. I did it! You did say it had to be a lot, but I did. That's actually quite a lot. Rip hair.
What?
Who wants to clone me?
Nobody. Literally nobody wants to clone you.
Oh my gosh, she would be so evil. I know it. She'd be my evil clone.
You already are evil.
Do it! Do it! Clone me! Do it! Clone me! Do it! Clone me! Do it!
No, thank you.
One time, this guy pinged me on Twitter, and he was like,
"Nerd, when are you gonna make a video again?"
And they were wearing neon glasses like mine. I see that sometimes. Like, I didn't invent these glasses. You can buy them. I just had to look at their account, and it was like, oh, whoa, they've got a lot of followers. And I clicked over to their YouTube channel, and they had 3 million subscribers.
Holy shit.
I click on a video, and it was like, dun, 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 dun. It's the music that I use.
Okay, so they copied you. There
was something very similar, and it was in the dark, and they had the glasses on, and it was like the beginning of one of my videos.
Weird.
But
We were running out of ideas.
They were running out of ideas.
One of my videos. But
We were running out of ideas.
Eu vou usar o pronome ela, porque é uma mulher que se veste de mulher, usa maquiagem de mulher, tem corpo de mulher.
They were speaking
Is that Portuguese?
in Portuguese because they were a Brazilian channel.
Called it. Go me. Okay.
They clearly had taken more than just a little bit of inspiration. And I didn't speak out about it until now. I haven't mentioned it at all. When that would cross the line for me would be if they felt like so guilty about getting busted on that.
Because they're retarded cam hoes with nothing going for them but their looks, and that's even mid at best. But doesn't Azzyland at least have tits?
That they wanted me
Like
to not
Sniper
exist
Wolf's like an
anymore.
A cup.
And they started trying to figure out how to erase me, so that they wanted me to be
what?
if they felt like so guilty about getting busted on that they wanted me to not exist anymore, and they started trying to figure out how to erase me so that they could do even better. Now, I think you experienced that last part. You've got someone who's taken inspiration from you. They switched over from just an homage account or stealing from you to feeling so guilty as an imposter of you that they don't want you to exist anymore.
Is that guilt, though? Or is that, like, I feel like I'm doing such a good job of being you that you shouldn't be here anymore and I should just take over as you? That's, to me, what that feels more like.
You have the nightmare version of what I haven't experienced. What was it that crossed the line for you where it went from something that you could accept, like clearly there's this other female creator who thinks I'm cool, who's taking ideas from me, to something that started to mess with your head? Like, what was the difference for you?
I genuinely don't care about this. Like, anybody who knows me in real life, like, I share ideas, I like help them out. Like, I would even have sent her the Photoshop files.
Holy shit, she has a completely different voice than her character. She actually sounds like a person.
As long as she was, like, nice about it. Like,
Remember to always be yourself, unless you suck. Then pretend to be somebody else. And that's on Azzyland.
when this person started pointing fingers towards me and started bullying me and trying to bring me down.
How were they accusing you? Like, what did that look like from your side of things?
It was a lot of things. At the very beginning, it actually started off with none of that happening. It was just like a few mean tweets, which kind of painted us as like enemies when it didn't need to be like that.
Yeah, you guys probably didn't even have anything to do with each other until
have any enemies. So, and then it turned into taking every idea that did well, but because they had more following than me, their video would just get more views, and so people would see their video first and then assume that their video was first.
Oh, that sucks. That's never fun. Like, there have been so many times when I've covered something first and then somebody, like a bigger channel, will cover it and it's like, well, fuck, there goes that.
That would drive me nuts.
It's more than that. It's like, you don't deserve to live because you've stolen from this person and ruined their life. I'm like, I didn't do anything to their life.
The comments were that dramatic that they were telling you to like KYS and stuff.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Over videos that she didn't even steal. Videos that were posted by her first. This is crazy shit.
It's that bad.
You're not special for winning a game with someone who you know was never playing. She could have killed you. She had every right. You just caught her off guard tonight.
To me, I'm like,
wow.
Copying is not a big deal. I feel like it doesn't become as big of a deal when you're an adult, but
no.
It's also, the difference is Sniper Wolf is telling them that it's a problem. So
yeah.
It's not just that these fans notice and they're organically being like, oh, I saw Sniper Wolf's video first and now I see Azzy's video and this is the same, and they're reaching their own conclusion that you had copied her.
What is your opinion on, okay, let's talk about this person since a lot of people ask me about her. Does she?
Yeah, it feels like Sniper Wolf is orchestrating this whole, like, comparison.
Copy me, and a lot of people think she is me. Today we're gonna be rating my lookalikes. Wait, hold up. These videos look familiar. I'm gonna have to give that one a 5.
She created the narrative that you had cloned her.
Yeah.
When it was the other way around.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, you guys, like, she had her own following and Azzyland had her own following. Why couldn't they both just exist on the same platform? The red dress videos are over a year apart. And Azzyland posted hers first. Holy shit. Oh, for Christ's sakes. I knew there was something I didn't do. Ow, that's okay. I need to stand up and stretch and my back is... What the fuck is going on with this? Ugh.
Yeah, I have fans, like, I guess playing both sides and like messaging me and telling me that she's DMing them and like she's kind of like encouraging people to hate on me. I think like that's very manipulative because she's in a position of power and she knows that by messaging children that they'll be starstruck.
They'll believe.
She's literally reaching out to minors and very young adults, and of course they'll be starstruck.
They've been deputized by her to go intervene in this and to let you know to quit copying her or whatever. So they've been like kind of dragged into drama to harass you. Have you ever done anything like that in reverse? Did you ever tell your fans like go do the same thing to her?
Never. I actually tell them not to. Like I literally say like please don't do that, because I do have like fans who do kind of instigate because they're like firing back at what like
and you have to tell them not to.
I always say to them, I'm like, the truth always comes out.
Yeah, just ignore it. Just ignore it. Because Sniper wants to be the top overrated cam-ho. Technically, we're all camera whores. Yep. That's true. So the ambiance of the window illuminating me is going to be okay for the video that I recorded earlier, right?
Create bad karma for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess this is part of the truth coming out, you know?
Well, I thought it'd come out on its own, but sometimes you have to stand up for yourself.
Just to give people an idea, like, what was the scale of this kind of harassment of you? Like, how many short form videos were you seeing that were accusing you of copying her?
This became like a really big issue as soon as TikTok became popular.
I could see that. I could see that being a really big way of fans of Sniper Wolf to kind of go after Azzyland as soon as TikTok became a big
and
thing.
It started blowing up on there because anybody can make a short form video and things can go really viral on there. Like there was fans that had like 100 followers, they would post it, and within the end of the week they would have like 5 million views on it. And that really encouraged people to make these videos, and I think it accumulated like people just like hating, and it was hundreds and hundreds of fans making videos. Yeah, anonymous accounts. I can't say anonymous.
That's insane. That's just hundreds of people making all these weird videos about
anonymous.
But anonymous.
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 Yeah, there's words that catch me like that too.
Yeah. I'm for it.
But basically, like, and that's the way that TikTok, that's part of how it became so popular, is they artificially give everyone their 15 minutes of fame. So when you have a new account, if you're just some kid who's only made like 1 or 2 videos ever, the odds of you having a viral video within your first few are pretty high.
Yes, they do that to fuck with you, to keep you posting. And then you're very rarely going to get another viral video. And you will do more and more stupid shit.
Because they want people to basically start to feel famous on that app. They do that in a way that like YouTube doesn't do. So basically like a trend started on TikTok of accusing you of copying her, and it became like a way to trend on TikTok.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a nightmare.
To rip on Azzyland and compare her to Sniper Wolf became a TikTok trend. This is insane. No, this shit has been going on for longer than TikTok's existed. I go back to school on Head versus Boxy. I don't know either of those people.
It's been such a nightmare because I'm like, it's made me not want to like open my phone or log in or be a part of social media, when at some point like this was like a safe place for me to come and escape reality, and now it became like hell.
You log in and you're being tagged constantly in negative comparisons, or where you're being accused of plagiarism.
Yeah, it's like even
that's horrible, especially when you haven't done any of those things. Like, it would be one thing if she had done it in the past, but she has not done it once, and now she's got all this shit.
If I try to avoid it, it will just pop up on my feed. I could not look at the comments, it will just pop up nonstop.
I believe that you would not weaponize your fan base in that same way. No. Like, my assessment of your personality from having met you in person was that you're not a high conflict person. Yeah. You don't like to wade into drama. Like if a little bit of gossip starts to happen between YouTubers, like, you know, you're gonna be the one to be like, oh, that's funny. All right, well, I'm gonna go get a drink. I'll be right back. Like
that's how she kind of does seem like that. Now that I'm hearing her talk, she doesn't sound as vapid as you would think. She sounds pretty intelligent and down to earth. Drama TikTok fitness worse. And YouTube Shorts is the exact same bullshit. Yep. Yeah, everybody has blamed all the recent problems on TikTok, but they've always existed.
You don't feed off.
They've existed for way longer than
off
TikTok.
of negativity in that way.
Yeah.
You kind of, you float from sort of like positive emotion to positive emotion, and you don't spiral into negativity. And I know what that looks like because I have friends that there's some drama going on. Colossal would walk into my office and be like, You know, what's cooking? Let me know. Like, what's the deal? Tell me, fill me in. Or Keemstar would be like, tell me everything right now, and you would have his full attention. The more negative, the better. But you know, with you, it's not that way. Now, Sniper Wolf, she's truly like a doppelganger.
Congratulations, you have won the doppelganger challenge.
Oh God, doppelgangers are just ugh. No. The ones that are doppelgangers on purpose too.
She's copied everything from you except for like the honest, positive parts of your personality. For example, if I were to ask you, do you Facetune your pictures before you put them on Instagram?
What the fuck is Facetune? Is that like auto-tune for your face? Is it just supposed to like automatically take all of the shitty, pimply, blemishy parts of your face out and make them all smooth and shiny and pretty? Is that it? Literally sounds to me like auto-tune for your face.
What's your answer to that?
I have, yeah. Yeah. Other people can see more than you can. That's the thing. Like, nobody's fooling anybody.
Everybody's using it to touch themselves up, to try to like present themselves as the best version of themselves without becoming fraudulent about it. The reason that I know that you've used Facetune is that photo you took when we met at VidCon, I could tell that like my skin had never looked that fresh since I was like, you know, junior year in high school or something.
That's funny. It's like, wait a minute, I do not look like that. That is not how I look.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. But I could tell that you probably just did the basic, like you hit auto. I knew that you used Facetune, and I think everybody does. And if somebody asks you, do you use Facetune? It's not a surprise to hear yes, and it's not that embarrassing to admit that you do. It's totally normal. And the way that you handle that and just did is completely different than Sniper Wolf.
Yeah, because Sniper Wolf probably loses her shit.
The way that you handle that and just did is completely different than Sniper Wolf.
I don't Photoshop any of my pics. I don't have time for that.
She gets violently angry about it, denies that she does.
But I think that it's more so like, even if that was the case, if people like, we don't owe anybody anything, and we don't have to tell people about like our bodies or our personal lives. I mean, I don't think people should lie about it. I think they should just say, I don't want to answer that question.
That's true. You don't have to lie, but you don't have to volunteer the information either. You can be like, I don't want to answer.
Personally, if they don't want to talk about it. But to attack other people about it, that's what bothers me the most about it.
You're perfectly within your rights if somebody asks you, do you Facetune? To just ignore the question, particularly if it's just like a random pot shot. You don't have to, like, every time someone asks you an editing question in any regards, you don't have to answer it.
No. There's no, like, you must answer all questions law. Like, there's none of that. I don't, like, you either answer it or don't. But you don't have to be a crazy person while you're answering the question.
What she did that went above and beyond, and like where it got my attention, one of the reasons why I felt justified in making that video, was that she was attacking people for the thing that I could tell she was doing.
Yeah. The first thing they say is, why does she look like a cartoon?
One of your first negative interactions with her, she was trying to say that she does not edit her photos and you do.
Yeah.
Okay, but if she is trying to be just like her Aziland, and it's obvious that she is, then she's going to have to edit her photos.
Which, it's just, why even go there?
Why should I care if someone is lying to hundreds of thousands of subscribers? It's none of my business. I should just focus on myself, and I will.
She doesn't want to be compared positively with you. She wants to crush you and be the only one getting the compliment.
Me versus 10 other girls. Anyways, I commented on this girl. I was like, you look so retarded or something.
Why would you do that? Like, what's the point of making somebody like feel like shit? Like, you're saying that they look retarded. What's the point?
One pic was a super filtered pic of the girl. Oh, did I mention she had too much Photoshop and filter? It's just that. And then they're saying I'm fake. But the chubby girls posting pics in their bra and undies.
It's greedy. She wants it all. She wants to dominate that comparison. And
I'm sorry, why can't chubby girls post pictures in their bra and underwear? I'm sorry. As long as they're not like Tess Holliday or Chantal or Amberlynn Reed, why can't they fucking...
And have no peer.
A lot of people love her. A lot of people want to be like her. But some people literally want to be her. A person
Like
who
you?
isn't Ariana Grande but dresses like her and tries to act like her.
You mean like you? You're trying to talk like her right now. You're trying to put on a weird, like, accent.
About Sniper Wolf Boo. Is that a thing? Unfortunately, it is. I could throw a lot of shade in this video. But I'm not. We're gonna stick to Ariana today.
Imagine that you're like a Taylor Swift fan and you find out that there's another popular pop singer in Canada who Taylor Swift has been copying the titles of her songs from, the outfits she wears on stage, the lyrics of her songs.
But it's like a cheap knockoff. That's what I think of. Cheap knockoff. Because essentially that's what it is. When you're trying to be somebody you're not.
Just all kinds of details about her life. Like if there's a photo shoot, some of the items in the room of Taylor Swift's place are matching the house that she saw that this pop star posted on.
This is a great analogy because this is exactly what's happening. Sniper Wolf is doing all of this shit. She just sounds vile. Why would another human do this to a human? Yes, that's exactly what face tuning is. It's when you try to go in and remove all the blemishes. Ah! It's a fake Toronto Scarborough accent. Ah! That's fucking retarded.
Sit on Instagram.
What I think is a little sus is when people like straight up copy somebody, the way they talk, the things they wear,
You
their
mean
hair.
like how you're doing right now? I can hear it when Aziland talks.
Whatever. And like completely deny it.
Sleep.
How bizarre that would be if you found out that a really famous, more successful pop star who you'd been following was body snatching or cloning or skinwalking someone else.
That is so, like, it's almost scary that she's doing this. And, like, this is almost out of a horror movie for Aziland. Like, if you're just, like, it becomes almost psychological at this point because you can't avoid it. Like, everybody is talking about it. Everybody's tagging you in it. Everybody is, like, there's nothing you can do about it. It's insane.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
A lot of those people like to talk mad shit about me.
So that's how it all started. You love somebody so much, you think they're perfect in every way, and you decide to copy their every move. Can't relate.
That's what's happened with Sniper Wolf and Azzy Wolf. Azzy Wolf!
Oh!
Can't relate.
The Freudian slip.
That's what's happened with Sniper Wolf and Azzy Wolf.
The Freudian slip.
Azzy Wolf! What have I done? That's what's happened with Sniper Wolf and Azzy.
That poor girl. The poor girl. Azzy Wolf. Oh. That's insane. Yep. Nope, nobody believed us, and I got fucked over, and I'm still trying to fix
I can't believe I said that. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
Can you imagine? That would be even worse.
You know what? I like poking fun at like myself. I don't take things too seriously. Like I that's one thing that people always say to me is like, you're really good at taking criticism. And it's I find that it is
Aziland almost sounds like she doesn't sound Scarborough. She sounds almost Ottawa.
I don't know. I feel like that's how you can grow, and it's not something to be like mad about.
She sounds like somebody who lives in like Ottawa, maybe Canada, like somebody who did French immersion up there. Like that's how she sounds.
It's something to appreciate. People are so afraid.
See, this is a perfect example. Look at what just happened here. Like she just took like an outburst of tension and just turned it into a positive moment. She took just the slightest bit of negative energy and tried to find a way to turn it into something positive. Sniper Wolf didn't copy the name Wolf from Azzy. Azzyland is the name of your channel.
When you promise to only eat one cookie.
I'm gonna be good tonight. I'm only gonna eat one Oreo.
Oh my god, they're exactly the same.
That's it.
This person should be a lawyer. He's like, you said one cookie.
The only one. Just one. That's it.
I didn't know how much she'd copied from you. When I made my video about Sniper Wolf, there was a voice that I couldn't quite place what it was, and I started to make a montage out of it.
The weird baby talk ebonics that she's adopted for YouTube.
I'm just...
Baby talk ebonics? That's kind of interesting. That's an interesting way of putting it.
Reaching for some name for it, and I call it Baby Talk Ebonics. And because I couldn't figure out what this was.
The Toronto accent gotta be the most autistic accent of all time. It sounds like a 10-year-old mentally disabled child who went to Jamaica for 6 months and picked up some of the lingo. Hold on.
Oh my god, it's so true! Oh my god! It's so fucking true!
Man, last time you didn't even pitch in for the spliff crow, so why do you... Yo, what's good, fam?
I try my...
Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh my god! That's fucking hilarious! It sounds exactly like Andy fucking Worski.
I try my best not to speak with a Toronto accent, but sometimes it depends on who I'm talking to. Yo, fam, I'm chilling, fam. You're good?
And what I don't like is if the business is true.
But who is you?
You left your mom's in the hood?
It makes no sense. I hate it.
Well, I do it on a daily basis and see if I like it.
You have money and you left your mom's there?
That was their house.
Yo, you're sick to my stomach, fam. But if it's not true...
Y'all telling me a wasp?
It sounded like a yassified voice that also was mixed with a little bit of like a baby, but it was like a foreign baby.
So a foreign baby? One of my favorite GTA TikTokers. Oh. Oh my god. It's exactly what it sounds like. Oh my god, an autistic 10-year-old that went to Jamaica for 6 months.
Oh, I wanted to attempt it.
Golf ball.
Oh my god.
Wasp net.
Wasp net. Cut in half.
From some very naughty, evil bees.
And when I finally watched some Azzyland content, I was like, there it is. That's the voice.
We don't care what you are. We don't care if you're not even the same species.
And it's a horrible, ripoff of a very nice voice. Azzyland's voice is actually really pretty.
If they got a house, why are they so angry all the time? This girl does sound like her. She's trying to talk like her. And then she's gonna act surprised like, oh, they thought I was her? But you were inspired by her.
And with Sniper Wolf, it was this bizarre affectation that threw me off so much that I made a montage out of it. Like, what the hell is that impression?
It's horrible. Like, Azzyland, when she's been talking in this video, in this interview, she has a really nice voice. But
Toronto accent gotta be the worst.
Wolf just sounds horrible.
Accent known to man.
You lying.
Yeah, what you saying, fam? I just want to know why people from Toronto sound like they're talking through their nose.
Yeah. Because they are.
Shorty's just talking shit.
And that's you.
I can tap into my voice when I get like excited. It's like a bunch of people who I went to school with and grew up around talk like that.
Boom! New bout.
My parents are foreign, and then I lived in Amsterdam for a bit. So it's kind of just been morphing over time. But the ironic thing is I wanted to separate myself so much from Sniper Wolf that I started forcing myself to not talk like that. And now I don't know how to talk like that anymore. I like forgot.
Tragedy. She stole.
Wow. She stole Azzyland's way of talking so much that Azzyland tried not to talk like that at all. That's crazy.
Stole something from you and then like wore it out so much that you quit it. Which brings me to one of my ideas. So I think that you should set traps for her. Have you heard of the game Peggle?
No. Should I? Is this a joke?
No, it's a real game.
Okay.
It's one of the easiest, most passive games in the world that requires no skill. Press a button. Congratulations, you win. Score. Like, I win.
I'd say I was speechless, but I have one more thing to announce.
Where's the fun? Where's the fun part?
Peggle 2!
Peggle 2!
Exactly. Imagine if you start playing that game, like, competitively, and pretending that you're getting really good at it. And you're like the #1 ranked Peggle player in the world.
That sounds like hell.
It would
so
be.
Boring. I'd rather play a game poorly.
No, but you don't get it. You don't get it. Just make an announcement that you're doing something so boring and so stupid, and then she will do it.
And have fun and try to get better than, like, I don't know.
But just for the sake of having Sniper Wolf, like, hire someone to fake her way to being the #1 Peggle player in the world. Imagine if you decorate your entire room in like Babs Bunny and you just start going like, listen, I'm so into Babs Bunny. Like, I love that character. And you just wait for her to get like a little figurine of Babs Bunny. Imagine in your new reaction content if you start to say,
Not the mama!
from the show Dinosaurs. You've pulled up like TikToks and you're watching something with a baby and you're just like, I'm the baby. Gotta love me. And
yes! And then as soon as she starts doing it, move on to something else.
You just wait for her to say it.
I've actually like considered putting like a hidden watermark into thumbnails to like see if like it.
Well, you've done more than consider it. Maybe, Leah, if you're watching this, you've copied something already that we set a trap. Is there anything that you're doing now or that you could be doing in the future that has its origins with me?
You're too smart for this world.
She's going to be worried. She should be worried about the thousands of videos. Like, she probably doesn't even remember how many times she's copied you. How many times have you noticed that she's copied your thumbnails or a title or whatever? Did you ever bother to count them?
Things that are like very obvious, like exact replicas, it's minimum like 50.
Oh my god. At least 50. That's crazy. That is crazy. 50 exact noticeable copies. Wow. Peggle. Ain't that what happens when his dumb girlfriend has his strap on?
But if you're not counting those with like up to 200.
Ones where you've got her dead to rights, like for sure, 50. And then somewhere it's like maybe just coincidental, but it's like partial copying, 200.
Just kidding, that's not Sniper Wolf. I'm the real Sniper Wolf. This right here is a paid actress. She looks just like me.
I think she has made her community obsessive about like copying and how wrong it is. And I see them like constantly attacking like other like creators who are like starting up when it's not, they're not even copying. It's like they're playing the same game as somebody else. And
oh my god, yes, because nobody's allowed to play the same games. Nobody.
I think that that's really toxic. And I think that if that's the case and everybody felt that way, nobody would do well on YouTube because the algorithm works by like recommending people next to other people, and it's working in unison and working as like a team and being a community. So I don't think there's anything like necessarily wrong with like copying to a certain level, and I think that it shouldn't be criminalized and it's just using copying to destroy people's careers and make people's lives terrible. Like it's gone further than that, and there's like ill intent. It's not
It's coming from an imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
It's coming from her knowing that just being racked with guilt about taking something from somebody else.
But I think you guys are looking at this the wrong way. I don't think she's guilty. I think she thinks that she is a better Azzyland. And that Azzyland should just now be called Sniper Wolf. And that Azzyland should just go away. I don't think that she's guilty. She's even said she has no empathy. I don't think that there is any guilt here.
And then achieving a success with it that she didn't deserve. It's something that is bothering her. And so I've said this to you before, but if I think about her as an animal, I think of her as a Siamese fighting fish. If you put a Siamese fighting fish in a little bowl next to another one, the Siamese fighting fish will attack the glass until it beats its face to death.
Yeah.
If you put a Siamese fighting fish next to a mirror even, it'll attack the glass and beat itself. It'll ruin its face.
Yeah. Wow. You know, sometimes I do that in public whenever I see
that.
somebody that like has black hair and glasses. I'm like, whoa, she looks like Sniper Wolf. This is Sniper Wolf.
Now you're not that species of animal. You're not that kind of fish, but she is. She can't abide just allowing you to exist in your own lane anymore and then stealing from you again. She steals and then tries to destroy.
Yeah, because I'm a walking proof of like what she's done in her head.
I mean,
this is crazy. Like the psychology of this is insane. Like I'm looking at how absolutely batshit crazy this is.
I get lots of messages that people have been doing this to me. Like there's people that copy what I wear and even try to talk like me, which is I think creepy as fuck. Why would you want to talk like somebody else? Like why? Like y'all disliked yourself that much? Like
she tries to preemptively beat the allegations.
Hey, I have a question. If you think you look like me or know somebody who looks like me, or even, slightly resembles me, dark hair, glasses, that's fine as well. I want to see.
Oh, I'm glad you think it's fine. I'm glad you're giving everybody permission to have dark hair and glasses. Jesus Christ.
Okay, thanks.
And that's something that I saw in J-Station. Colossal and I discovered that J-Station was stealing, and we worked out the percentage of it.
We took every piece of his content and cross-referenced it against other channels and then compared the dates. And today, we can prove that over 59% of everything he ever uploaded was directly stolen from someone else who had found success with it first.
But
that's insane. 59%
then
of
he
his
would
content.
preemptively attack those creators and tell his audience with fake screenshots that person was stealing videos from him.
That's so twisted to like Photoshop the proof.
She did something similar with you though. In that video where she's accusing you of copying from her, the red thumbnail, she scrolls down, but she didn't scroll down far enough to show that you'd done it first.
Yeah.
She hadn't.
Oh. So she didn't show the upload date.
Gone as far as Photoshop a fake proof, but she showed them a fake scroll down through the content.
It's mind games. It's like, so she scrolled like right up until the point before you saw that I had also done a red thumbnail and then stopped. It's like, it's just twisted.
Just as an FYI, this girl came up to me at an event and told me that I was her biggest inspiration. And that's really cool, and I can totally see it. If you go to my videos and scroll all the way down, 10 months ago I started doing like funny text videos, and I started doing this style of thumbnail 10 months ago too. And I made up this type of thumbnail. Here's one from 9 months ago. This type of thumbnail just became my thing, my style. Like my subscribers would know that they're my videos because of my style.
Yes, your style. Yes. I'm sure.
If you go to her channel and scroll, you'll see that her first texting video was 8 months ago. And then 7 months ago, she started using the same kind of thumbnail that I was making.
Pause. Now, I'm sorry to do this to you because this is such a stupid point. It's the same point being made over and over in tens of thousands of hate comments on Azzy's channel, pouring into her spam filter at this very second. So as petty as it is, let's deal with it now and correct the fake lore that Sniper Wolf retconned into her fan base.
All right, let's see this thing. Let's see what we have to gain here.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, as you just heard, Leah's claim against Azzy entirely hinges on this assertion. that this is the earliest example of the precious red thumbnail text message combo.
Oh no!
Now, several years have gone by, and that video and the one next to it were deleted from YouTube. I don't know why. But we can tell from the context, even to this day, that it sat between this video and this video. April 15th, 2017 and April 18th, 2017. Now, the screen cap from SS Sniperfish conveniently stops. She scrolls all the way down to only July 3rd, 2017. Now,
oh, that's convenient. That's very convenient.
Why did she stop there? Because had she kept scrolling, she would have found this. February 3rd, 2017.
Oh!
Look at that. Now, you might be saying, but nerds, what if Azzy is tricking us? What if Azzy tricked you? What if she changed the thumbnail after Sniper Wolf's video to jam the thumb in earlier than Sniper Wolf's screen cap?
I don't think that's possible.
Losing my mind. No, there it is. Objection. Among Us sustained. There it is, seen in February 2017. Winner, Azzy Wolf. Now look, even if what Sniper Wolf had claimed was true, and it wasn't, but even if it was, that would be nowhere near as crazy as plagiarizing a house tour.
No, yeah, that's a little bit weird. Like, you have to watch the first house tour, see what's in it, and then go out and get all the stuff to make your house that way.
And getting flexed on by someone who's not even comfortable in their own skin, in their own dresses, looking in their own mirrors, in their own house. Forget plagiarism. Like, that is actual mental illness.
And that's really cool, and I can totally see it.
You wouldn't think someone could gaslight the whole planet from inside a tiny little fishbowl, but SS Sniperfish managed to do it.
Yay! Good for you! You have the ability to super gaslight.
You like my fart?
Boy, did she gas up millions of little wolf cubs with that one.
Sniff it. Sniff it real good. Sniff my butt real good.
Please.
That's content of hers.
Please continue.
I do want to point out as well, the reason why this is also such a difficult thing to talk about is because of the whole way that reaction content works is we are reacting to what's the most viral on the internet. So
yeah,
the ideas are like, they're not our ideas. It's whatever's viral. It's the whole internet's idea of what is popular.
Right. And like, you can't then turn around and be like, you're copying me, but then be a React creator.
Right? So like taking ownership of that doesn't work. You can't like watch a movie and then take ownership of watching a movie.
No.
Yeah. It's like cosplay. It's a tribute. It's a copy. It's an homage to something that's coming from pop culture.
Yeah.
And even in cosplay, she was competitive with you and trying to say, like, you didn't belong in the community.
Basically, I had done a diva cosplay and it went viral on Reddit Gaming. And then a month later, I posted it again. On the same day that month, she posted a diva cosplay.
Of course she did. Of course she fucking did. Because she has to one up everything you do.
Completely coincidental. I don't think she knew me. I didn't know her. But because I'd gone viral and she was already viral, people started tagging me in her comments saying, "Oh my god, you and Azzy should collab, you guys," because we both posted the same day. So then I go to my ex at the time and I was like, oh my god, like everybody's tagging me in this girl's page. She seems really cool. She likes gaming. Like, I could have another gamer friend. And he's like, that's Sniper Wolf. She's not going to want to collab with you. She hates women.
Ooh, ouch. That's rough.
And I was like, you're being a hater. Like, don't believe everything you see on the internet. Like, I was defending her. And then, lo and behold, later on Twitter, she's like, don't compare me to girls who Photoshop their butts and their boobs and their waist to my photos. Or, I don't know, something like that. That's like the whole thing with her. It's like she always wants to prove that she's real and someone else is fake. And it's like,
meanwhile, she is all fake through and through. There's nothing about her that is real.
Can't we just all be real?
Yeah, it's like a self-report. Things that she's yelling at somebody about usually is exactly hypocritical. Yeah. It's always that thing. It's always exactly that.
It is.
Gee, I wish there was a YouTuber
that had a bunch of really good thumbnails that I can just go onto their page and steal.
Wow.
I mean, same, but
there's nothing wrong with it, like you admit it. Like you let people know that that's what you're doing. Who are they to stop you? Yeah, I guess the problem is denying it.
This girl's faking her gameplay when she was faking her gameplay.
She's a gamer, isn't she? Hence, Girl Gone Gamer. And after 400,000, she hasn't even done a live commentary?
You're not playing! I can't hear any clicks or anything.
Her reactions were just so fake. It was not real. She's obviously not the one getting her gameplay, which me and a lot of people knew obviously was fake.
That's your... Dude, you're not playing. Like, you can hear that there's no mouse, there's no controller, there's nothing. There's no... anything to make it sound
sometimes
like she's gaming.
She'll snap over something that's not even something to be upset about. Like you showed in your video about her that somebody tweeted her saying, "Oh my god, like you look like Melanie," and it was obviously a compliment because Melanie's like very beautiful,
pretty,
right? And like she responded with saying like, "Yeah, but her boobs are fake" or something.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it just like it was unnecessary. The person wasn't insulting you. It's flattering. And then like Sausage attacked every piece of that girl's body. It was so terrible.
Man. Perfect hip to waist ratio. No hip to waist ratio.
God damn, dude. That's and that was her ex.
I had Max reading that. Alien hands.
Alien hands. Alien hands.
That's harsh. Like, and that's supposed to be her ex-husband, I guess.
Fat stomach. My neighbors are seriously gonna report me. Like, I guarantee there's gonna be some domestic abuse. Beautiful natural hair.
Not me.
Beautiful hair. Nasty fake hair.
And that's exactly what happened with Jack Films. He tweeted the sunglass emoji at her and a thumbs up. It's like, I would have thought that was a compliment. If he tweeted at me, I'd be like, I could just say it right back and be like, yeah, like, you know?
Yeah. But she knew because she sucked that she didn't deserve that kind of promotion from YouTube. So she read a supportive emoji as an exposed emoji.
An emoji! An emoji! She went crazy over fucking sunglasses and a thumbs up!
Yeah, it's wild.
I'm thinking of exactly the same type of situation. If somebody pays me a compliment by saying, now right off the bat, I'm saying I assume this is a compliment because it's something that I can see is good.
Yeah.
So if somebody says, you and Captain Disillusion are the best editors on YouTube, I'll be like, thanks. And I hope he never sees my content because he is a better at motion graphics than me. You know, he'll see my editing and think that I'm leaving all sorts of sloppy little shit posty mistakes, and I am, you know. But I take that as a compliment because that's a great channel.
Yeah.
You know, if someone's like, you and Colossal are the best commentary channels, I'm like, thanks. I love his you know, like, that's great to me. That's what I was wanting to hear.
Mm-hmm. Right. Like, you don't... That if somebody came up to me and was like, Blind Press, I put you on, you know, the same... You know, I think you should have the same amount of subs as, like, you know, Sitch and Adam and Destiny and like, those people, because you're a good commentator. You're like, wow, that's incredibly complimentary of you. Thank you very much. I hope they never see my shit show. You know, like, that's what
because I like Colossal's content. I don't go, no, I'm the best. Like, he can't do what I do. That would be coming from a place of knowing that you weren't that good.
Yeah.
You know, I think I would really not believe. Well, it would be like, that's what I would feel like if someone else was editing my content for me, right? And I was pretending I'd edited it. Like, if I had a...
Yeah, like, if there's a video that is on my channel that I obviously didn't have a complete hand in, like, if Pinkalo edits a video for me, right, and I share, like, and I post the video, I'm always gonna tag him and thank him for helping me edit it, because that's what you do. You're not just like, here's the video I made.
had a guilty conscience where I knew that I wasn't even doing those things. I guess I get it now. So that's where she's coming from, is this knowing that she's faked her way to where she is. I think the fact that she gets so angry about you is a real indication that her popularity is partly fake too.
Yep.
If you want more on this topic right now, there's a new episode of TBH where partly fake too. If you want more on this topic right now, there's a new episode of TBH where Azzy and I talk about Sniper Wolf with Clown and Pyro and Dolan. In case you missed it, you can catch up on the first episode of Nerdline Season 1. Find out about the world's highest paid doodle artist. There's an episode of TBH number 22 where I go behind the scenes on the What Happened to Nerd City video and the Gary V doodle racket. There's also that video we kept referencing throughout this one, the original Thought Patrol. And if all the passing references to Dead Avatar Project have left you with some questions, I made a 32 or 33 post thread on Twitter that's pinned right now. So at Nerd City on the X app. And it's a pretty long read. It took me a long time to make that thread, and it took me a long time to make Dead Avatar Project. So you'll understand how much effort and how much thought went into that if you go through that thread. And these are things I'm going to explain in a video later, but because the skulls are on sale now.
Okay, but this is taking... Okay. But yeah, I wanted to take a look at that and see just how much of Sniper Wolf's shit is actually stolen. And it's crazy. It's like all of it. All of it. Colossal is Crazy is a good YouTube. I need to check him out. Right, I am going to do a be right back break and get more coffee and go to the bathroom. So if you need to do that, you do that too. I shall be back in a moment. Okay. Back we go. Now we're gonna watch a video that I'm sure is gonna make us all super angry. Sue, my son shot up Columbine Claybold. This is a video from about a month ago. Apparently, she wrote a book. And there's a TED Talk by her as well, but I didn't grab it because this is like 45 minutes. But she did a TED Talk, and she basically, her whole thing since this happened in 98 was like, my boy would never have done this. He was intimidated by Derek Harris. It was never his fault. He was perfect in every way. So we're going to take a look at this video and see just how horrible she is.
When you're wearing rose-tinted glasses, red flags just look like flags.
Yeah.
I watched Sue Klebold's talk, skim through her book, and after hundreds of hours of Columbine research, I'm going to tell you why Sue Klebold's TED Talk is the worst ever. If you didn't know, Sue Klebold is the mother of Dylan, who in 1999 tried to kill everyone at Columbine High School in Colorado.
Sue was one of those parents that, they would, there would be for years, people would come to her and be like, your boy is fucked up. And, oh, no, not him. It's the other kids around him. It's the people he's hanging out with. Not my boy. She's one of those parents, dude, I literally caught him decapitating an animal. No, not him. And if he did, somebody made him do it.
Sue claims that not only could she not have known, but no one could have identified her son as a deranged killer. And she even had the audacity to educate us about mental health, or brain health, as she calls it.
Brain health, huh? Okay, you know that the brain is a physical, organ, and there are many parts of the brain that are, different medical departments. There's neurology, there's psychology, and psychiatry.
And that's when I truly became a brain health advocate. Is that I'm talking about mental health, or brain health as I prefer to call it, because it's more concrete.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Spittle buggies! You're just in time for the main part of the stream here.
She has reached the highest level of cope, and I find her statements both counterproductive and insulting to rational parents and society at large, because
no shit.
When you learn all the facts about the case, who Dylan was, the mountain of evidence showing Dylan and Eric's plan, it's hard to imagine why Ted would ever allow her anywhere near a stage and a microphone.
That's true. It wasn't even a TEDx. It was a TED. A straight up TED.
Who is the parent of one of the most deranged children that has ever walked Earth. And without an admission of error, she has nothing to teach us. The facts surrounding Columbine are disturbing. Fair warning, this is going to be quite the emotional journey. And without an admission of error, she has nothing to teach us.
Yeah, she's basically not admitted any wrongdoing as a parent. No, I should have seen something. I could have done something. I'm sorry. I know it can't bring anybody back, but, something.
The facts surrounding Columbine are disturbing. Fair warning, this is going to be quite the emotional journey.
Before the shootings, I thought of myself as a good mom, helping my children become caring, healthy, responsible adults was the most important role in my life.
Okay, and how did you not see how psychopathic your son was? Or who he was hanging around with? How did you not see any of that?
I wanted to first check the pulse of the situation. How were people responding to the talk? I went to the comment section, and of course, the comments were disabled.
Oh, of course they are. Because TED is usually, I don't think I've ever seen a TED with enabled comments.
And TED opted to remove the option to downvote the video.
I'm shocked.
Okay. A New York Times article reviewed Sue's book. The top comment reads, Watching her rationalize her son's murderous actions is nauseating. She blames ignorance and Eric Harris, but never herself. A vile person.
Yeah. I had no idea. And it was all Eric Harris's fault. Yeah, that's literally all it is.
Thought experiment. You are a complete narcissist. Your evil child and his best friend just tried to kill everyone at school. What do you do next? Pin most of the blame on the other killer.
Well, yeah. Especially if you're, if Dylan, like, because she had multiple kids. So if Dylan was her golden child, if she's a narcissist, then absolutely.
Blame society, gun control, bullying, mental health awareness. Secure victim status for yourself.
Yep.
Or all of the above.
Yeah. If you're a narcissist, you're absolutely gonna do all of that. He was a weirdo, and that's coming from me. Because therapists or psychiatrists will refuse to treat themselves or their family. Yep.
Columbine was a singular event, unlike any school shooting before or since. While some school shootings may have been premeditated, none have had as much insight into the motives and the thoughts of the perpetrators as the Columbine shooting. Out of respect, I hesitate to use the word lore, but that's sort of what I would describe all of the content surrounding Columbine. There are books, movies, and an active subreddit dedicated to Columbine.
There's a lot of information, speculation, blame.
People are able to know so much more about Dylan and Eric because of all the information they left behind. Because Columbine wasn't committed by a lone wolf who kept to himself. And it's worth noting, there hasn't been another school shooting involving multiple people since Columbine.
That's true. That's true. It's all been done by one person. And these guys were very much these guys were very different, and they left so much documentary evidence behind.
Classmates Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold left journals, a website, numerous videos explaining what they were going to do, why and how they were doing it, documenting their journey right up until the very end. In addition to all of that, there's a collection of evidence known as the 11K, which contains 11,000 documents, mostly witness testimony, reports, interviews, and of course the infamous journals found in Eric and Dylan's homes.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit. If you go through it all, it's heavy. And like, these are witness testimony that isn't just for the shooting. Like, these are witness testimonies that are like telling us about how, like, what kind of kids they were before.
And a big part of the lore around Columbine is this book, a handful of interviews, and the TED Talk from Sue Klebold, Dylan's mother.
Ready? Camera, slate.
And before we get into Sue's mess of a TED Talk, I want to cover all of her media appearances up until this point.
She has more than one.
Sue's mess of a TED Talk. I want to cover all of her media appearances up until this point. In 1999, Columbine happens. All four parents, the Klebolds and the Harrises, go into hiding. The Harrises make it known that they will not speak unless they are granted immunity.
Yeah, and they haven't spoken at all, I don't think. Because if I were them, I would be incredibly ashamed. And if I were Sue, I would be incredibly ashamed. If my kid grew up to do a quarter, if either of my kids grew up to do a quarter of something as bad as this, I will be mortified for the rest of my life. And I don't know how I would handle it. It's like, this level of shit, I wouldn't talk at all. Hell, when Hugo and Jake recounted their experience, that was insane alone. Yep. They both wanted to be a star. Yep.
We've never heard from them.
Oops.
And it's now been 24 years, so we'll probably never hear from them. No. In 2001, a lawsuit with the parents of the shooter settled out of court. The details have remained private, but I imagine this gave Sue Klebold some protection from further litigation. In 2004, Sue did an interview where she went into defense mode, saying that Dylan did not do this because of the way he was raised.
Okay.
Defense mode, saying that Dylan did not do this because of the way he was raised. He did it in contradiction to the way he was raised.
Yeah. That doesn't make sense. Nobody, even the most rebellious teenager, does not decide and plan and premeditate multiple murders just because fuck mom and dad. That's... Fuck you, Sue. Seriously.
Shocker. Parents of mass murderer take no responsibility. The real bombshell in this interview is when Sue Klebold went out of her way to take issue with people who offered her forgiveness. When someone told her, "I forgive you for what you've done," she told the interviewer she was infuriated.
I'm sorry, you raised somebody who slaughtered people in cold blood and you're furious that somebody forgave you.
And said, "I haven't done anything for which I need forgiveness."
Okay. Sure. You just raised a psychopath.
I think everyone's issue with this statement is it assumes she made no mistake related to her parenting. The worst part of the interview is when Tom Klebold, Dylan's dad, says people need to understand this could have happened to them, which is another way of saying school shooters are completely random.
This could have happened to them. Yeah, my boy just, he turned 17 and immediately he just turned into a school shooter. It was completely, random. It was weird. He was perfectly normal for the first 16 years of his life, and then, the morning after his 17th birthday, he just completely changed. It was so weird. I don't understand it. Fuck off!
Overall, the Klebolds take the position that they did no wrong. The victims' parents had a lot to say.
Even the father of Isaiah Scholes, one of the victims, has had little sympathy for the Harrises.
I can't really say much for the other parents. Evidently, they didn't watch theirs because there's no way bombs would be made in this garage, and I didn't know about it.
Right? No shit. No shit. I don't care how much leeway you give your kids. I don't care what they've, how your house is run. If your fucking kids are spending all this time in the garage building shit, I'm gonna go check and see what they're building.
I think that she feels like the most tragic thing that happened throughout this was her son's death.
I think they need to be out there talking about those signs that they saw in Dylan and giving other people a heads up what to be looking for.
Yeah, you know what? The one thing that I might do if I were in her position, and if I could find the strength to do it, is say, I fucked up as a parent, but here's how I'm going to try to fix it. I'm going to talk about some of the things that I should have noticed in my son and that I didn't notice. And just for other parents to look at, and if I can prevent something like this from happening again. That's something I would do if I were her.
One parent said, "I wanted an apology. I wanted a contribution to help us understand why it happened so it would never happen again. I didn't hear it." Brian Rorbo, father of victim Daniel Rorbo, said he was outraged that the Klebolds likened the day of the shooting to a natural disaster.
I'm sorry, I think I would notice if my kids were making 90 fucking pipe bombs. I was making explosives in a high school and my mother figured it out and she's a moron. The day before his birthday, he met Hillary Clinton, and the next day he knew how to owned several guns and knew how to make pipe bombs.
Sure. In 2009, Sue wrote an essay, I Will Never Know Why, for Oprah magazine.
Oh my God, Oprah magazine published that?
Litwin of the Denver Post wrote an article criticizing the essay. He said, Klebold wrote too much and at the same time revealed so little. It's not just that she tells only her side of the story, it's that while reading it, there's so much she either doesn't see or doesn't want us to see. In 2014, Sue and Tom Klebold got divorced, citing that the couple dealt with grief differently and that they did not have any common points of view on what happened.
Meaning Tom probably started to understand that there was some shit that he and she should and could have done and didn't, and she was like, no, it was all the Harris's fault.
In 2016, Sue released her book and did her first TV interview. We'll talk more about the book later in the video, but she says things like this in her book. The ultimate message of this book is terrifying. You may not know your own children, and worse yet, your children may be unknowable to you. The strange...
No. The only way a child of yours is unknowable to you, or that you may not know your child, is if you don't try to know your child. Even if your child has fucking special needs. Ah! Oh, fuck you. You're gonna test shit? Who financed the bombs? That's a very good question. I can't remember if they had their own money or if they were stealing credit cards from their parents. Yeah, stupid test.
And you may not know your own children, and worse yet, your children may be unknowable to you. The stranger you fear may be your own son or daughter. At least she's consistent with her messaging. In 2017, we have the TED Talk, and she ends the talk with this statement.
In the end, what I know comes down to this. The tragic fact is that even the most vigilant and responsible of us may not be able to help.
That's not true. Because there were plenty of times before this happened where you could have stepped in, or you could have separated Eric and Dylan, where you could have demanded and sent Dylan to fucking psychiatric help. You could have hospitalized him because, you're his parents. Like, there are a lot of things you can do before your son goes and starts building pipe bombs and writing manifestos and a list of kids he's gonna kill at school. There's a shit ton that you can do as a vigilant and responsible parent to step in and help before any of that shit happens. You dumb bitch.
But for love's sake, we must never stop trying to know the unknowable. Thank you.
Oh my God,
that any child could be secretly plotting a massacre, and the parents can't know. However, we should keep trying anyway. And in 2020, Randy Brown released a book titled The Inside Story of Columbine: Lies, Cover-Ups, Ballistics. Randy had a son who was friends with Dylan at one point, and he knew the Klebold family personally.
Interesting. So this is a parent of an ex-friend of Dylan.
This is a home videotape of Dylan in Randy's home, and this is a picture of Randy's son Brooks with Dylan. For clarity, Randy's wife is Judy, and Randy specifically references Sue Klebold's book in this passage. I read it, and I was really upset. It was not the truth. There, plain and simple, it was not the truth.
That's hard. Ugh. I'm sorry you guys had to hear that. I'm sorry.
She makes light of the warnings that Judy gave her about Eric Harris. Judy told her that he was dangerous and to keep him away from Dylan. Judy warned her very clearly as a friend. Sue ignored her.
Wow. Okay, so Judy had warned Sue, like, hey, don't let Dylan hang out with this kid. And Sue was like, oh, no, everything's fine.
Sue was warned and chose to ignore it. Randy also is a bit biased because his son Brooks was friends with Dylan. Brooks and Dylan had a falling out, and for quite some time, many people associated Brooks with Dylan and Eric. As we'll talk later, Randy reported Eric Harris to the police more than a year before Columbine.
Oh, well, that's interesting. He reported
And he was
him
the
a
only
year
one who
before.
publicly addressed the issue in advance.
You went to them and said, here's a red flag.
More than a red flag, here were 3 felonies that...
Oh, shit.
Them and said, here's a red flag.
More than a red flag, here were 3 felonies that we had turned into them, making and detonating pipe bombs and threatening my son's life, and they didn't pursue it.
A year earlier, they were threatening one kid, detonating fucking bombs, and nobody did anything.
They didn't do their job.
I was utterly dumbfounded that they did nothing with the web pages. Eric was saying how he was going to blow people up. Hey, I'm making pipe bombs. I've got the designs for them on my website. I'm going to kill these people. Here's why. That's a level beyond making a joke.
Yeah. Like, none of this shit could ever be taken as ha-ha, jokes, bro. Like, none of this anywhere is this is jokes. Fuck, man. I don't understand how, like, I can see how the Harrises don't want to talk. I don't see why Sue can't shut up.
And after multiple attempts, Ted has rejected Randy's request to do a talk.
Wow. So they'll let Sue do a talk, but they won't let Randy do a talk?
Even though he is, from my research, the first person to correctly threat assess a modern shooter in human history. But they bring Sue Klebold on to tell us it's a fool's errand to try to figure out who is a psycho killer.
I was terrified that I would run into a family member of someone Dylan had killed, or be accosted by the press, or by an angry citizen. I was afraid to turn on the news.
You should have been afraid of all of those things. Because it's your fault.
Afraid to hear myself being called a terrible parent or a disgusting
You are a terrible
person.
parent.
So what's Sue's angle? If Dylan's motives were unknowable, Sue is absolved of all guilt and responsibility. She's just another victim. But in my opinion, the facts surrounding Columbine say otherwise. Dylan and Eric kept numerous journals, videos, weapons, and notes planning their attack that were waiting to be found.
Yeah, how do you not, like, as a teenager, like, do you have a teenager that has multiple weapons and you don't know about
videos, weapons, and notes planning their attack that were waiting to be found. I would argue they were screaming to be found.
Yeah, like, even though I'm blind, if I stumble across, like, this big, thick fucking book of shit hidden away in one of the kids' rooms, I'm gonna fucking take it to Pink Hollow and be like, honey, what's this book? I found it hidden in the kids' room. Like where they don't want us to find it. What's in it? You know what I mean? Like, there's... Or, honey, I found this object in one of the boys' rooms, and I'm not sure what it is. Do you know what it is? Like, I'm not gonna. Oh, boys, just must be one of their things. I'm just gonna put it back. Fuck, man. Yeah, you knew a guy who was planning on bombing one of the fiestas in the town I was growing up in. Crazy part was he had planted the bombs in his mom's booth. Holy shit. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I think most parents would claim they would know something was up if they were put in the same position.
Randy and Judy Brown say a year before the high school shootings, they were so concerned about Eric Harris's violent writings on the internet that they went to police. The Browns had had trouble with Eric Harris. They say Harris had threatened their son, Brooks, and vandalized his car.
So, yeah, okay, so we've got Eric Harris openly threatening the Browns' son. We've got the Browns telling Sue, like, hey, we know that Eric and Dylan hang out, and Eric is really not a good kid. As a friend, like, you really shouldn't let them hang out. And Sue's just like, oh well.
When Brooks found threats of mass murder on Harris's webpage, he brought it to his parents.
The entire website was dedicated to how he was going to kill the entire state of Colorado.
When the Browns met with investigators from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department, they say they turned over several pages from Eric Harris's website. Pages that read, I will rig up explosives all over a town and detonate each one of them at will after I mow down a whole area of you snotty rich, and it continued with a string of expletives.
Wow! No, he's not at all deranged. Fuck! He was a copycat of these guys, by the way. Ah. Interesting. Interesting.
The page continued. All I want to do is kill and injure as many of you as I can. One of the pages that had a recipe for a pipe bomb concluded, now our only problem is to find the place that will be ground zero.
Yeah, none of this was taken seriously by the cops? Jesus Christ, I'm sorry, even before 9/11, this is not normal shit that kids write. I'm sorry. This is not fucking normal shit. It's not. If there's a teenager or any kid that's writing this shit, that's fucking not. If anybody's writing this shit, honestly, that detailed, that angry, that is not just somebody venting. Okay, that is not okay. That is not normal.
And you might say that Dylan could have hidden everything from his parents, and you'd be right. We don't have any evidence that Dylan revealed his plans to his mom. But nobody claims Sue knew exactly what Dylan was going to do. It's just that we have a mountain of evidence showing that she ignored numerous red flags.
No. Like, I'm not saying that she, like, stumbled across the plans, knew the plans, and did nothing. But this is out of. You have to realize in the 90s, the internet was this mysterious place where normies dared not go. That's true. That is true. Like, my uncle, that's where he got the recipe, that's where he downloaded the anarchist cookbook.
Eric's parents found a pipe bomb in their house.
The same year as this shit, by the way. The same fucking year as this shit, he made the napalm. Because that was his grad year for grade 8.
And Eric's website, which contained a hit list, how to make pipe bombs, and enough violent threats to warrant a search of his house, was ignored by police and the school. Randy Brown, the father of Brooks Brown, an ex-friend and classmate of Dylan and Eric, alerted police years before the massacre. And he had found Eric's website after his son, Brooks, had a falling out with Eric.
Like, the fact that they brought this to the police and the police actually were like, nah, let's not do anything about this.
This is 98-5504, the incident report that we filed in 1998. He and I had turned Eric into the police a year earlier and 2 years earlier for having pipe bombs and weapons and detonating pipe bombs.
Brooks was informed about Eric's website at school. He wrote the URL down on a sheet of paper and found his name on Eric's hit list.
Oh, that's terrifying. That's a little terrifying. Like, it's one thing because you can tell when somebody's just talking shit. Like, there's a difference when somebody is just shit talking versus when you can tell somebody's like actively got some sort of plan brewing. And when you find your name on a list written by somebody that has an actual plan, that's a little bit different than the dumbass that doesn't shut the fuck up all the time. Well, I've got your name on a list, motherfucker. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? But you find the list on a website like from a guy like this, and you're like, okay, can I have a gun now too, please?
Yes, one of the Columbine shooters hit lists on a website. In addition to the hit list and hateful ramblings, Eric had plans to make pipe bombs along with many other alarming violent threats. In one of his many hateful posts, he essentially says he's going to kill everyone and he'll be, quote, armed to the teeth. You do not have to be a psychologist to look at this website and conclude that Eric was a hateful and dangerous person.
No. You do not need a degree to read that and go, this is not a child that is just talking. This is a very disturbed person, and so we need to lock him away.
The year was 1998, and it could be understandable why authorities in a small town in Colorado might drop the ball on what to do with this new internet thing. These were the glory days of AOL.
You've got mail.
And the 56K modem. Even still, Randy printed out the pages to bring to the authorities at the school.
Which, I mean, like, I get it. Like, that's a good thing to do. He brought hard copies, and they're still like, no big deal. It's fine. It's fine.
Nothing was done. Luckily, Randy had saved all of the emails and documents proving the reports were legitimate. Randy was so worried about the threats, he had written an article in the Columbine Courier in March of 1990.
Can you imagine being the #1 target trying to stop a mass killing, and then the day before they tell you to stay home? Oh, fuck.
More than a year before the shooting, letting everyone in the community know about the situation. Randy reflects on this years later.
We're sorry. We're upset that we didn't do more to let people know what happened here, but the cover-up made it difficult. And we live with the guilt of knowing that maybe we could have done more, although we spent 7 years fighting it after Columbine.
Dude, it's not your fault. You tried. Oh my God. You tried so hard for even before this. This is not your fault.
It didn't help.
At first, the Sheriff's Department denied its investigators had even met with the Browns in person.
Wow.
But we obtained this police paperwork showing those investigators not only met with Mrs. Judy Brown, but then worked on a warrant to search Eric Harris's home.
Holy fuck! And they tried to cover this all up? This is insane. Like, it's bad enough that this happened in the first place, but now the cops are trying to cover up the fact that there was a warning?
Even more surprising, this document shows a sheriff's deputy found a pipe bomb consistent with the devices Harris described on his website.
God damn it! This is even worse. This is even worse. You've got fucking a warning, you've got a warrant issued, you've got a search that yields something, and you still do nothing, and all of these people lose their lives. This is absolutely crazy.
Right. But the Sheriff's Department never searched or even visited the Harris home. It was April of '98, a full year before the Columbine massacre.
How can Randy feel like he could have done more, but the parents of Columbine won't say this publicly?
Because Randy is a human. That's why Randy is actually a human being with a conscience and empathy for others. That is why Randy feels the way Randy does, and Sue Clayvold is a horrible human being. I just, oh my God.
So to play devil's advocate, it was Eric's website, not Dylan's. Sue can claim ignorance to Eric's behavior, right?
No.
Besides the fact that Judy Brown warned the Klebold's about Eric, there is a fair amount of evidence that Sue outwardly communicated that Eric was not a close friend to Dylan.
Oh, so Sue lied.
And she never says that Eric was a close friend in any of her books or speeches. In fact, she goes out of her way in her book to distance Dylan from Eric. I believe this is because she wants to associate the shooting with the duo, Eric and Dylan, which minimizes Dylan's involvement.
And Dylan did a lot of shooting. On the actual day, Dylan did a lot of shooting.
This narrative is consistent with the idea that Eric was the real monster manipulating Dylan, and she never wants you to believe that she had any control or knowledge of how close Dylan was with Eric. Because if she did, she would have to defend herself as to why she allowed her son to spend so much time with Eric. But we know that Eric and Dylan were together.
You're exactly right, Bandit.
She allowed her son to spend so much time with Eric. But we know that Eric and Dylan were together a bunch. They talk about their nightly missions, vandalizing property. They got in big trouble as a pair multiple times and have numerous videos documenting their friendship over a long period of time. Either Sue had a brain injury or she's gaslighting us.
Oh, she's totally gaslighting. She's totally gaslighting. It's like Eric hated him for being an there's no other way.
Eric and Dylan were caught hacking into computers at Columbine High School, stealing a document that contained all of the combinations to every locker in the school.
Oh no, that's not okay.
They were caught and received a school suspension. There's evidence to suggest that they used their access to leave violent threats in the lockers of other students. But
lovely. And they got suspended for this, and Sue still didn't be like, okay, you know what? You don't get to hang out with Eric anymore.
It wasn't just Eric and Dylan. Zach Heckler also was suspended from school after the locker incident. However, Zach stopped hanging out with Eric and Dylan after the incident. From my understanding, it was only Dylan who continued to hang out with Eric as time passed. Even parents of other troubled kids didn't want their kids around Eric.
Wow. Okay, so other parents with other kids with problems. So not necessarily like, I'm not saying every parent with a troubled kid is a bad parent, right? But I'm gonna say at least one of the parents is kind of like half-assing it, okay? And even they're like, okay, no, you don't get to hang out with them anymore.
Also, Eric and Dylan were arrested after stealing electronics from a van they broke into. This happened during one of their many vandalism missions that are well documented in their journals. Dylan's mom knew about these events. She could have and should have prevented Dylan from hanging out with Eric, which would be standard good parenting, both today and in the 90s. And before people make excuses for Sue, she did the best she could, blah, 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 blah. Dylan's mother worked at a psychiatric hospital in the past and even had a master's degree in educational sciences.
And she calls mental health brain health? She has a oh my God, it gets worse. Oh, Jesus Christ. It gets worse. It gets fucking worse.
I don't think I'm holding her to this unrealistic high standard here. When your kid is a felon and in an adolescent diversion program, so he doesn't have to go to jail and drop out of high school, you don't let him hang out with the kid who's consistently getting caught doing terrible things with him. When the parents of your child's best friend warn you of his behavior, you do anything and everything to prevent them from hanging out.
When your fucking child ditches his best friend and starts exclusively hanging out with this kid, that's another huge red flag.
But she didn't. Byron also got caught breaking into a Denny's, American diner, and got a DUI driving drunk. Things were so bad that in Sue's own words, they kicked Byron out of the house by age 19. The reason I bring all this up is to point out that Sue's parenting consistently produces troubled teens.
So Byron is Dylan's older brother, and he's not much better.
Dylan wasn't an anomaly. And it's worth noting that there is evidence that Dylan's drinking wasn't normal high school substance abuse. Dylan used the nickname Vodka with Eric. Dylan bragged about drinking an entire bottle of vodka in one night. He frequently talks about getting drunk in their journals, but we'll never really know how bad it was. And she can't pin this on Eric. All of the evidence suggests Eric didn't really like alcohol. And
Eric seemed pretty straight edge.
Shrapnel. Some people are just bad seeds.
Some people are just bad seeds.
Why not both like now? But
what was I gonna say? No, like Eric seemed more like a straight edge kind of kid. Dylan.
And she can't pin this on Eric. All of the evidence suggests Eric didn't really like alcohol. And in some of the basement tapes, Eric takes a swig of alcohol and winces, and you can tell he doesn't do this very often.
Yeah.
Same with cigarettes. Dylan was a smoker, and at one time he makes fun of Eric for not knowing how to use the lighter.
Yeah.
Time for a cigarette.
Yep.
Try not to laugh when you light me. Try not to laugh when you light me.
See, and that's a dynamic that you should take note of. If Eric was such the intimidator of Dylan, right? And bullied Dylan into doing these horrible things, Dylan wouldn't have the guts or the social ability in their dynamic to make fun of him for that little thing. Because if Eric was really, if they really had a dynamic with each other where Eric was this abusive, controlling, intimidating guy that forced Dylan to do everything, there would be no way in hell Dylan would feel comfortable making a joke like that. No way. Absolutely none.
Regardless, when your kid is in with a bad crowd, it's your job to change their environment. And that's exactly what the parents of this child did.
Cassie was hanging out with the wrong crowd. They did everything in their power to save her, pulling her out of school and putting her in a new one they thought was safer. Columbine.
We were in such a terrible battle, we finally had to move. When we saw her grades dropping,
I found a stack of letters, and they talked about suicide, alcohol, drugs. They had hand-drawn pictures talking about killing Brad and I. It was just horrific. And so we realized by going through her private room that we had a problem.
So they had to invade their daughter's privacy and find out how troubled she was, and they moved. And they were trying to save her. They were trying to be good parents.
Hi, honey. I don't do catch you much to other side of the Atlantic and timeline. Still loves you though. Button.
Fury!
Check message input.
we took charge of the situation.
She was moved to Columbine by her parents to change the bad environment, and Dylan killed her. One time, Sue even admits that Dylan had shown her a bottle of schnapps when he was going to prom. That's pretty benign. I'm not faulting Sue for parenting a teenager in possession of like dirty magazines and some beer. No. Dylan and Eric amassed 95 bombs and 4 guns in preparation for Columbine.
How do you not notice that?
Amassed 95 bombs and 4 guns in preparation for Columbine. People generally don't know this, but Columbine was a failed bombing turned into a shooting.
Yeah. The bombs, it was supposed to be a bombing, and the bombs didn't work. So they started shooting people.
Dylan and Eric wanted to kill hundreds of students indiscriminately and only planned to pick people off with their guns outside who survived the initial explosions. Anyone could have found evidence of their plan, or at the very least prioritize the separation of Dylan and Eric. And on top of the criminal behavior, Dylan's teachers reported him for writing disturbing essays and video projects.
Yeah, so when your son's teachers are hitting you up and going, you know, the contents of these essays are way beyond what you would expect from a teenager. Like, I used to be part of a writing club, okay, in high school. And I wrote some pretty fucked up shit, okay? My teacher, not a once, went to the principal or my mother and was like, you know, she's really writing some disturbing things. Is everything going all right at home? Like, not one time. Okay? So when your teachers are finding your shit disturbing enough to make multiple reports and your parents are still like, no, everything's fine. Oh, they tried to. Okay.
A year before the attack, Joe Schalmoser and Howard Cornell were worried that Columbine was just the kind of place where a school shooting might happen. In August of '98, a full 8 months before the attack on Columbine, Cornell and Schalmoser wrote a security plan that required school officials to notify and meet with parents and law enforcement officers as soon as they learned of a threat by any student to commit any act of violence.
Oh, that's interesting. So we have a security plan put in place 8 months beforehand. We've already got a police report from 4 months before that. Then we've got all of these projects that the teachers keep going, this is really disturbing, and somebody should, talk to him at the very least, perhaps. And everyone's like, la la la, everything's fine, we're just washing our hands of this whole thing. Oh my God, what happened that one April day?
They say Columbine didn't follow the plan.
In the event that the kid initiates some behavior that pops one of those red flags up, then we need to move.
About the time Cornell
My
and
dad would
Chalmers
beat my
presented their
brakes off
security
if I was
plan to
hiding
Columbine,
that much munitions. No shit.
two of the school's juniors, Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold, were coming to the attention of school and law enforcement authorities. At night, Harris and Klebold had been building an arsenal and making plans to use it.
I remember, my uncle, I was 8. Yeah, I was 8. Because he was graduating grade 8. So this was 2 years before Columbine. And he downloaded the Anarchist Cookbook off of the internet, and he decided to make napalm. And my grandpa was more pissed about the way he stored it and the fact that he didn't tell him that he wanted to try making napalm, because grandpa was like, we could have done it together safely. That was his big thing. He's like, we could have done it together safely, you idiot. But my uncle decided to make the napalm and then hide it under his bed next to a book of matches. And I was the one that ratted him out by accident, because I'm like, why do I smell gasoline in the house? Is there a gas leak somewhere? And everyone's freaking out, and they discovered it just before grade 8 grad. So you can still, like, if you look at my uncle's pictures in his grade 8 grad, he looks like, he's like, I have to smile, but he looks like he's gonna cry. Because on the entire ride to school to graduate, my grandpa was like reaming him out. The Anarchist Cookbook is the biggest piece of shite ever done. 99% of everything is pure bollocks. Yeah. Yep. Yep, styrofoam and gasoline. Yep. But yeah, my grandpa was like, she's like, if you had come to me, we could have made it safely in the backyard. He was so fucking pissed off. I honestly thought, like, when you said my dad would have beat the brakes off of me, I thought grandpa was gonna beat him. I really did. I thought grandpa was gonna put hands on my uncle. I was like, did I just cause the death of my uncle? I was so scared.
Plans that Harris wrote about on the internet on his website. The school district official Sally Blanchard, the school had no reason to look into the matter further.
Deans were told that there was an investigation underway, that they weren't to do anything, that it was informational on their part only.
What the fuck? That is off. That is horrible. That is completely against the security plan. That is completely against the security plan. Holy shit.
Only. So they actually took no action because certainly they wouldn't have wanted to interfere with an ongoing investigation.
This is too important to say, oh, well, you're going to handle it. We'll get on to something else.
So is my uncle close to my age? Yeah, my uncle's 5.5 years older than me because my grandparents had two older sons in the 60s. And then in 84, my grandma got pregnant again, and my grandparents were like, that can still happen? Oh, okay. Looks like we're having another child.
No, it's too much too important.
But isn't it fair to say that if the police come to the school and say, hey, we're investigating this kid because the kid's making pipe bombs. This is an FYI, so you know what's going on. That if I'm the school, I'm assuming that, okay, the cops are taking care of it.
No.
No.
You have to get the cop in there and say, what do you mean he's making pipe bombs? And where are they? And what is he doing with them?
Right? And also, here are these really disturbing projects that he keeps writing. Do you think they happen to be a correlation between the two of them?
If a sheriff's deputy
Fuck.
told you that somebody at your school was messing around with pipe bombs, just common sense, wouldn't you want to know more about that?
I would have asked, first of all, if there was something that would lead me to believe that I needed to worry about our students.
It doesn't make a gel, it makes a tar.
There's not much
that's
else I
even
could
better.
do other than have the information and be watching, being more vigilant about that student. He was just a
How about you give the information to the cops that told you they're making bombs?
have the information.
Holy
and be
fuck.
watching, being more vigilant about that student. He was just a scary kid.
Devin Adams was a sophomore at Columbine in 1998 when she found her name on Harris's website on his hit list.
Lovely. Lovely. That's just great. Everybody's finding their names on the hit list.
In December of 98, you went to an assistant principal at the school and told her that you had been threatened by Eric Harris.
Yes.
What did you say to her?
I told her that Eric was intimidating, that he was threatening, that other students were feeling threatened by him. They did not feel safe in school around him.
I'm shocked.
That it was not a safe environment when he was around.
And what did you want her to do? What did you think she would do?
I wanted her to call Eric in, maybe call his parents in, just talk to him. And I don't think it ever happened.
Yeah, because fucking... You know what the biggest fucking problem about schools used to be when students would go to people about other students? Oh, they're just ragging on you. You need to grow a thicker skin. They actually like you. That's why they're being horrible to you. Because they like you and they don't know how to show otherwise. Or in my case, you're weird and that's why nobody likes you. You need to change.
But that assistant principal denies Devin Adams ever spoke to her about Eric Harris.
I made an appointment, sat down, and I talked to her.
Wow. So, according to the sheriff's department and the school officials, everybody's just lying. Everyone's lying. Nobody reported anything. And we don't have to... There was no security plan. There was no police report. None of that shit ever happened.
But that assistant principal denies Devin Adams ever spoke
crazy.
to her about Eric Harris.
I made an appointment, sat down, and I talked to her.
That's insane.
I was serious, and she should have known that.
I find it very inconsistent that we blame everyone surrounding Sue, but don't hold her accountable at all as a parent. Sure, there were people who have spoken out about Sue, and I'm happy to add my name to that list. However, if you look around, you'll find plenty of people rushing to her defense. I think what is going on here is that people think about their mother or their child, and they insert themselves into the narrative. They can't imagine their child doing something evil. Or they think of Harry Potter's step-parents or something and conclude that Sue couldn't have been that bad.
No, sorry. I'm a parent. I could not imagine my child doing anything that horrible, but I also could not imagine ignoring my child so very, very vastly that I don't notice his complete social and mental breakdown for the last year before he goes and shoots a bunch of people. I'm sorry. I don't think I would be able to do that.
But the problem is, nobody is claiming that Sue beat Dylan in a basement dungeon.
No.
It's just that she was a bad mom. And I'd argue that she doesn't have anything to teach us because she's not willing to give us the full story. We would never let the police or the school administrators do a TED Talk about how they couldn't have known about Eric and Dylan, because we know that they failed. This is Robin, a naive girl who liked Dylan. She had just turned 18 and was convinced to buy a few guns for Eric and Dylan. Watch as this major news network grills her because she had gifted a gun to Eric and Dylan.
Which brings us to the question why you went. Why were you needed there?
I was 18 and they were both 17 at the
So they used you. That's literally all you were. You were a tool.
time.
What did they tell you they wanted the guns for?
They really didn't say anything in particular. I just kind of assumed they were either hunting or collection. I mean, it was just the type of thing that they were into, I guess.
But did you say, why? Why should we do this? Do you think, I don't want to do this?
It didn't really seem odd, I guess, for them to want guns.
Because?
Because it was just in their personality trait, I guess. It's just something that they enjoyed, I guess.
Dude, it's not that deep, news lady. They fucking used her because she was 18 and she liked Dylan. That's it. That's all it is. There's nothing deeper. She's not part of this. They used her.
Found interesting. It didn't really seem odd to me at the time, no.
Did it worry you at all that they were so interested in guns and that you were going with them to purchase more? Was there anything that worried you?
I didn't really have any...
Oh, yeah, I know. This is crazy. This is insane.
Reason to believe that they would do anything with them, you know, that they would commit such a crime. I didn't have any idea that anything was going to happen. And so, I mean, they were just guys that I knew and hung out with and had fun with, and I never could have seen it coming, so it didn't seem like there was anything wrong with it.
Did you know a lot of kids who were interested in guns?
Not that many, I guess.
Because of something one of your friends said about the fact that you and she left the school just minutes before the incident and then returned, the question has arisen. Did you have some warning?
No, none. We were we were in a hurry to get out of school, only for the pure fact that it was lunchtime and we were only allotted 40 minutes for lunch to leave, get lunch, and come back and get back to class. So it wasn't unusual, really, that we were, you know, trying to hurry to get out.
What she did was legal at the time, and I don't believe she knew they were going to shoot up a school. Never mind, Eric turned 18 before the massacre, and they didn't even need Robin.
No, I think she was just duped and used. I really do. I don't think there was any master plan.
Expect a high schooler who just turned 18 to be sensible and have insight into what Dylan was going to do, but we don't hold the parents to that same standard. And finally, Sue consistently gaslights the audience and cherry picks what she wants the audience to think about her to shape a narrative. There are numerous examples. One that sticks out in my mind is when she tells a story about how Dylan forgot Mother's Day one year. That spring, we had the worst argument we ever had during his lifetime. It happened on Mother's Day, the last Mother's Day we had together, and it still hurts me to remember it.
Why would you... Okay, she's mad that he forgets Mother's Day.
I can't remember exactly what set me off. I was heartstruck about a disastrous year I'd had with both my kids, angry about Dylan's continuing negativity and bad attitude, and quietly hurt he had forgotten Mother's Day. When I confronted him about his attitude, I had this feeling he was responding not to me, but to some inner joke. It seemed disrespectful. Fed up, I got in his face, I shoved him against the fridge, pinning him there with my hand.
Dude. Okay. So you're being... What's it? So this is the interview that everyone uses to say Columbine was only about the guns. So this is the interview that everyone uses to say Columbine was only about the guns. Yeah. Oh yeah, they absolutely were. Mother's Day, a holiday there, so companies can get money. Yep. Exactly.
Then I waved my finger and gave him a real mom lecture. I didn't yell, but there was authority in my voice as I told him he had to stop being so crabby and selfish. The world doesn't revolve around you, Dylan. It's time for you to think about other people in this family. You mean
while you're sitting there bitching that he forgot about Mother's Day?
need to start carrying your weight. Then I reminded him he had forgotten Mother's Day. Finally, in a soft voice that carried warning and power, he said, "Stop pushing me, Mom. I'm getting angry, and I don't know how well I can control it." Even though she's trying to spin a narrative, she can't help but reveal who she is in these stories. It's very strange she doesn't pick up on the violence in this situation. You almost miss it if you don't pay attention carefully. Sue is seemingly unaware of how violent Dylan was. He threatened that he might not be able to control himself if she doesn't back off.
Yeah, like the fact that you're able to tell your own mother that if she doesn't back off, that he doesn't know he won't not be able to hurt his own mother. Fucking that's fucking ridiculous.
And she admits to pushing him up against the fridge in the beginning of the confrontation. I have a hard time believing that this is how the dispute went down or that this was the worst fight they ever had. But it's interesting that she chose this as the worst example, because to a narcissist, forgetting birthdays or Mother's Day is a big deal.
Yep. Because that's my day. How could you forget my day? Every Mother's Day, I get really I get like something nice, like breakfast or something, but do I expect it? No. Do you know why? Because Pinkalo works his fucking ass off. And because of that, we have like food all the time and like a place to live and all that shit. So and he's exhausted all the time. So do I expect it because it's Mother's Day? No. Because you don't expect that shit.
She also frequently defends her home life, saying that the Klebold's were the type to know the parents of your kids. Yet who was with Dylan all these nights, drinking, breaking into vehicles, vandalizing property, amassing hundreds of bombs and guns? And Sue had a history of downplaying her son's problems even before the shooting. Just look at this diversion paperwork. Look at how much Sue writes in relation to Dylan's criminal history. Dylan is blunt about his crime. Sue writes a book about the event, and
interesting. Dylan's like, yeah, I did this. Sue's like,
insinuates that the crime wasn't that bad. She uses a bunch of wobbly language. The boys found a van. The van had a ticket on it, so the boys thought it was abandoned. And then they saw if they could get some electronic equipment by helping themselves to some of the contents.
Wow. That is some serious downplaying shit. Wow, that's crazy. That is insane. The amount of downplaying that is.
How does Dylan tell the story? We broke into a van, took stuff from it, drove away. She continues on a second page, stating that Dylan and Eric drove down the road to look over their, quote, newly acquired stuff. Someone give this woman a writing award. And this sort of wishy-washy language is all over the place. She writes, in fall of '98, Dylan and friends who had access to the school's computer.
Dylan and friends who had access to the school's computer
figured out how to find old locker combinations.
Yes. Then if they were all old locker combinations, how did they all still work?
Look at how she crosses out gained access to who had access. It shifts the blame over to the friends, mainly Eric. And she doesn't stop there. She softens.
I mistaken blowjob day. I'm sorry.
The crime by calling them old locker combinations. But we know that they were breaking into people's lockers with the info. How does Dylan tell the story? Packing and possessing important documents.
Like 3 words.
Even without parental involvement, it's still puzzling how it would be possible for 2 people at one school to be so evil and disturbed, to find and trust each other, and to come up with such a destructive plan. As evidence was released, a commonly held narrative was fabricated to explain the psychology of the situation. The explanation was this: Eric was the true mastermind behind the massacre.
Sorry.
And Dylan was a depressive, suicidal follower, a victim to Eric's true psychopathy, fueled by the toxic school environment that he grew up in.
No, I'm sorry. No, Dylan was just as much of a fucking psychopath as Eric. And I'm sorry, you can see it in that video where Eric fucks up lighting the cigarette. A depressive, suicidal follower would not be confident in making that joke.
And to add fuel to the fire, Eric's parents have remained completely silent since the massacre, which in a weird way is a respectable option.
Yeah.
They clearly failed as parents and members of the community. What do they have to offer us other than to feed our morbid curiosity?
Nothing.
And because most of the guns and explosives were thought to have been kept and made in Eric's house, it's easy to construct this leader-follower narrative. We can make sense of that in our brains. But what makes sense in our brain doesn't necessarily have anything to do with reality.
No, because if you, like I said, that one little video clip that he showed earlier is so telling. So telling. They fed each other. Yes, exactly.
Sue loves the narrative that Dylan, the school shooter, was created by the environment he was in, the environment being Eric and the school. But she doesn't take accountability for the environment and control she had for the 17 years leading up to Columbine.
No.
After a lot of reading and talking with experts, I've come to believe that his involvement in the shootings was rooted not in his desire to kill, but in his desire to die.
Oh, really? Really? His desire to die. Oh, okay. That's why he told you that he wasn't sure if he'd be able to control himself if you kept pushing him, right? Really?
Each brain lives in its own reality and quantum physics proves this. Wild button.
This is insane.
You have to ask, why would Sue go through this media campaign? Why not slip into obscurity and move on with life?
Because
I
she's
believe
a
that Sue
narcissist.
is a narcissist on steroids. She finds it unpleasant that she had this role of a parent to one of the most mentally destructive children in the history of humanity. And in light of what her son did, she found a way to get attention and admiration when most would never dare. Sue's hairdresser was interviewed shortly after the shooting.
Oh, wow. They even interviewed the hairdresser?
But Dee Grant, Susan Klebold's hairdresser, saw her just days after the shooting. She had no idea her son
She had no idea. I asked her if she had any idea. And she did say, no, I did not want to pry.
I just find this odd. Even if Dylan had just committed suicide, harming no one but himself, I can't imagine getting my hair done in such a short proximity to the tragedy.
No, no, I'm sorry. Like, my son dying at his own hand, even if he doesn't kill a whole bunch of other people first, I am not going to the salon right away afterwards. I'm just not. Like, even for his funeral, like, I'll do my hair at home. Right? Because I don't want to be around people. You know what I mean? Like, I just lost part of myself. I don't want to interact with the public. Like, why would you want to go to a salon after something like that?
She talks about how she didn't like the yearbook photo of Dylan and had it reshot. And when the media used the older original yearbook photo, she went out of her way to have the new photo sent over to the media. I just can't understand that.
It was his desire for control. Come on, Sue. Thank you,
Narcissist
Bandit.
parents often see their children as a direct reflection of themselves. And so their children's public image is very much a part of their own ego. Dylan was dead. In Sue's mind, the photo of Dylan now reflected on herself. So she created an alternate reality and gaslit anyone who would listen into thinking that she is a victim in all of this.
Yeah.
Narcissists are only worried about their child's reputation in relation to themselves. Dylan was only a difficult problem to her once he became national news.
Right, exactly. Up until then, like, people could be telling her, like, dude, he's writing these fucked up essays and doing these videos and hanging out with this crazy person and has alienated his once best friend, and she's just like, oh well.
Her entire book and speaking tours are cleverly designed to protect herself from what her son did, rather than take accountability and prevent future school shootings. And where was all this motivation, brain health, and knowledge before the massacre? She was busy analyzing, obsessing over yearbook photos. One of the
Seriously? yearbook photos.
Reasons I was so frustrated with Ted is they repeatedly denied Randy Brown's request to do a talk on how to prevent school shootings. Randy was one of the first people in the world to spot and accurately threat assess a modern school shooter in advance. It was a
He did a good job, and nobody listened to him. Why didn't she just
world
dress
in
up as a
1999. Sure,
handmaiden?
there were school shootings prior to Columbine. For example, Charles Whitman murdered 16 people at my alma mater, the University of Texas in Austin.
Yep.
But Charles was found to have had a brain tumor pressing on his amygdala, which regulates aggression. Up until that point, nothing like what Eric and Dylan were doing was on anyone's radar. I find it insulting that the killer's family gets to speak their mind uninterrupted, yet the public isn't allowed to give their opinion in YouTube comments.
Yeah, that's... The fact that they disabled comments and the fact that they won't let Randy have a platform, but they let Sue have a platform is disgusting.
Who are we protecting here? Even if we grant Sue victimhood, in the absence of a transformative apology, I can't imagine why anyone would want to prioritize her story over others at Columbine, or why we would listen to her advice on mental health or parenting.
The third challenge I have when I talk about my son's murder-suicide is that I'm talking about mental health.
I don't care if an award-winning weatherman says it's not raining. If I walk outside and water is falling from the sky, he's wrong. And it doesn't really matter what Sue says because the evidence is undeniable at this point. Dylan was an evil murderer. Dylan spent an enormous amount of time with Eric. His best friend wasn't Nate, as she will try to get you to believe in her book. There's almost nothing Sue could say to change my mind. And to illustrate Sue's ineptitude, I would like to show you how Sue references Dylan versus who Dylan actually was.
Oh, this should be an interesting comparison.
At this point, if you still think that Dylan was a depressed teen who was taken advantage of by Eric Harris, this is what changed my mind. With the help of this video from Infamous Crime Locations, where he put together all the locations where Dylan had shot anyone, and a bit of my own research, this is what Dylan did.
Okay, this is probably gonna be hard to watch.
11:14 in the morning, both Eric and Dylan went and dropped off their homemade bombs, which were made of propane tanks. They dropped the bombs off, which were concealed in different duffel bags, and they dropped them off in the cafeteria, set them down, and then they left. Their goal was around 400 to 500 people, as the lunchroom was at its highest capacity just after 11 a.m.
So they wanted mass casualty. Both of them. This is... They wanted mass casualty.
So they're the first people that they shot, 400 to 500 people, as the lunchroom was at its highest capacity just after 11 a.m. So the first people that they shot were Richard Castaldo and Rachel Scott. So they were shot right here near the west entrance, which is up the stairs from the cafeteria.
So they're already at the exits. So they're hoping to catch people as they're running from the explosion.
They were both sitting on the grass eating lunch. Rachel Scott was killed by 4 shots to her arm, rib cage, temple, and her leg. Richard Castaldo was hit 8 times by bullets, ended up surviving just barely. However, he is now paralyzed. Richard said that he barely noticed both Eric and Dylan when the bullets hit him. He could hear Rachel crying and was sure that she had been shot too. Dylan.
That's crazy. Like, that's insane. Like, you barely see these people, and all of a sudden bullets are coming
both turned to see Lance Kirkland, Danny Rohrbaugh, and Sean Graves coming up the stairs from the cafeteria up towards them at the top of the west entrance stairs. Again, Eric and Dylan opened fire on all 3, injuring Lance and Sean, but ultimately killing Danny. Daniel Rohrbaugh's body is the one that is laying there at the bottom of the stairs. Daniel Rohrbaugh was killed by 1 shot to the leg by a 9mm high point by Eric Harris, and also was shot 1 time through the stomach and 1 time through the chest by a 9mm Tech 9 by Dylan Claiborne.
A fucking Tech 9?
Lance Kirkland was again injured by another shot by a shotgun blast to his cheek. And it's a very gnarly injury. They shot him behind kind of his ear, and it blew off part of his jaw. And they injured Sean Graves by shooting him in the abdomen, his back, and foot. Eric and
God damn.
Dylan both shot Michael Johnson, who was injured by shots to the face, his arm, and his leg. They also shot Mark Taylor, who was injured by shots to his arms, his leg, and his chest.
They're just... Like, and they're hitting them in places that will kill, but they will kill in very painful ways.
Anne-Marie Hochhalter was also outside. She was injured by shots to her chest, abdomen, and left leg. She tried crawling to the cafeteria door, which is by the stairs right there. She collapsed, but she also was able to survive by playing dead. Next, after Eric and Dylan went through the west entrance at the top of the stairs, they went inside into the hallway and they found Dave Sanders, and they ended up shooting and, of course, killing Dave there in the hallway. So after Eric and Dylan both entered the library, they headed over to the 2 rows of computers, which was by the windows that overlooked the parking lot. And at the computer desks is where Kyle Velasquez was the first one to be shot and killed. Kyle Velasquez was killed by 1 shot to the back left shoulder and 1 shot to the head by a double-barrel shotgun by Dylan Klebold.
God damn.
Also, Kyle Velasquez was mentally...
Dylan seems to be doing most of the shooting here, by the way. They are, yeah, exactly. They're they're picking kill spots, but they're picking slow kill spots. They want suffering. These are not executions. These are, I want you to suffer shots. Even though I'm in the UK, I do love my 38. Oh, you have a 38. What is it? Oh.
Mentally challenged. He had been since he was young. He apparently was too scared or not sure what was going on. So he ended up not even hiding under the tables. He just sat there when Eric and Dylan came in and killed him. Next, Daniel Steepleton was injured by shots to his left leg. Mackay Hall was injured by shots to his right leg. Stephen Kernow was killed. He was hiding underneath the second row of computers, the row closest to the windows. Stephen Kernow was killed by 1 shot through the right shoulder and his neck by a pump shotgun by Eric Harris. Casey Rugsager was injured by a shotgun blast to the shoulder. Patrick Ireland, probably a very famous picture you probably all saw, the guy climbing out the window trying to be rescued. He was injured by shots to his head and his foot. Next, Jesus. Cassie Bernal was killed by 1 shot through the finger and right side of the head with a pump shotgun by Eric Harris. Before Eric killed Cassie, he bent down and said peekaboo and killed her. But
Sociopath
when he did that, the recoil from his shotgun ended up hitting him in the nose, which ended up breaking his nose.
Bastard.
So he was bleeding pretty bad, actually, from his nose. After that happened, it kind of distracted Eric. When another girl, Bree Pascal, was crouched down in the open right next to Cassie, Eric asked Bree, "Do you want to die?" And she said, "No, please don't shoot me. I have a family and a fiance." He laughed and then noticed his nose was bleeding and said, "Dylan, it hit my nose." And so he ended up walking away and not killing her. I guess he got distracted by his nose. Then Isaiah Scholes was killed by one shot to his left arm, through his armpit, his heart, and his right arm by a pump shotgun by Eric Harris.
That is a nasty path. That's nasty.
Now, they did target Isaiah Scholes because he was black. And again, I'm just reading what the witnesses stated and heard in the library. They called Isaiah many profanities and racial slurs. And so I believe that Eric and Dylan, did not like certain black people or all black people from what it sounded like. Then Matthew Kechter was killed by one shot to his left shoulder, which went through his neck, his lung, and his right arm by a double-barrel shotgun by Dylan Klebold. Next.
Why is Dylan racking up more bodies here? Everyone's like, Eric Harris was a horrible person. Fucking Dylan seems to have killed more people.
Was injured by shots to his head and his shoulder. Lisa Kreutz was injured by shots to her shoulder, hand, and her arms. Next was Valine Schnorr. She was injured by shots to her chest and her arms. So after Val was shot, she screamed, "Oh my God, help me." And hearing her cries, both Eric and Dylan went over to where she was. And it just says that one of the shooters who was reloading his weapon at the time asked her if she believed in God. Says that she initially floundered by saying no at first, and then yes. He asked her why, and she said it was because it was what her family believed. Lauren Townsend was killed by 5 shots to the back by a 9mm Tech 9 by Dylan Klebold.
Look, another body for Dylan. But he was just a depressed follower, right? It was all Eric. It was all Eric Harris. Dylan was just a follower.
And was also shot 3 more times to the front torso, and another shot that grazed her head.
God
by
damn,
a pump
dude.
shotgun by Eric Harris. Then
Eric
Nicole
didn't want to
Nolan
be
was
taken
injured
one-upped?
by shots to her abdomen. Next, John Tomlin was killed by one shot to the chest by a pump shotgun
I believe
by
the
Eric
order
Harris.
of who followed who
He was
is
also
twisted.
shot 3 more times to the head and one shot to the back by a 9mm Tech 9 by Dylan Klebold. Next, Kelly Fleming was killed by one shot to the lower back by a pump shotgun by Eric Harris.
Eric seems to favor the shotgun, but Dylan seems to switch it up.
Next, Gianna Park was injured by shots to her legs and her shoulder. Next, Daniel Mauser was killed. Daniel Mauser was killed by one shot behind his ear, one shot to his nose, which went through his neck, by a 9mm high point by Eric Harris. Next, Jennifer Doyle was injured by shots to her hand, leg, and shoulder. Next, Austin Eubanks was injured by shots to the hand and knee.
Tomorrow, an autopsy will be performed on Columbine survivor Austin Eubanks. He died yesterday, just days after we talked to him in Pasco County. He was shot during the 1999 Columbine school shooting.
So he died after.
And his best friend was killed. Yesterday, he was found dead in his home in Colorado. No foul. His family sent out a statement saying Eubanks lost the battle with the very disease he fought so hard to help others face.
Next, Corey DePuter was killed. Corey DePuter was killed by one shot through his left shoulder, which went through his lung and out his neck, by a 9mm Tech 9 by Dylan Klebold.
Oh, look, another victim.
He was also
for
shot
Dylan.
3 more times in the neck, back, and arm with a 9mm high point by Eric Harris.
Yeah, it feels like Eric is like, I don't want to be one-upped by Dylan, so I'm just going to shoot Dylan's victims.
No Russian button. Adding ESO bandit. Remember, no Russian. Fury Kid moderator. How much was spray and pray? But there was a lot of Delbert button. Spittle buggies. I believe the order of whom?
This is insane.
And again, Corey DePuter was the last one that Eric and Dylan killed.
Columbine happened for many reasons: poor mental health, the toxic school environment, easy access to weapons, a lack of police and school response, and most importantly, terrible parenting. There,
Yep.
I said it. Sue Klebold was a terrible mom, and I don't say this to demonize her. One of the reasons I make videos is to provide a perspective that I think is missing in the discourse, and this video serves that purpose. I think it's a huge misstep to let someone like Sue, a complete failure of a parent, coach us on mental health and suicide.
I agree.
She didn't see it then, she doesn't see it now, and she has nothing to offer us. Sue Klebold, you lose. Good day.
I agree. I absolutely agree. She has no business saying anything about anything in regards to mental health or prevention or anything, because she's not taking accountability.
I will accept a what the hell past talk, sort of faculty button. Adding Fury, Spittle Buggies. They accidentally released all school videos on this, but it's unfindable now. Button. Add emotes button.
So yeah, that's wow, and we've done 3 hours. Holy shit. We did a whole 3 hours. Tomorrow is gonna be a full coffee and combat stream. And I will be doing one of my Rips Arena qualifiers tomorrow. So I will also be recording that as a separate video, but I will be doing that live. So thank you all for watching and hanging out with me. You guys are awesome. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning for coffee and combat. See you then. Have an awesome day, guys. Bye.